the English Marathi also, as I have seen many of the participants are from Maharashtra, and most of them are from the Chikli College, Anuradha College of Engineering. So today we will talk about the current trends in research and development. Now, those who of you are studying, those who are teaching, those who are doing research, one thing we have to keep in mind that unlike year 99 and 2000, where everybody in the world talk about the convergence, okay? That time it was a convergence of telecom and internet. And everybody believed that internet will bring revolutionary change the way in which we conduct our day-to-day business. Also, we conduct our commerce. And over the period, we have seen, especially during 2020 COVID lockdown, lot of things have gone online. Now, even for the MMTC now, most of the sessions are conducted online. So that is a convergence. Okay. Then when it comes to media, okay, we have YouTube, we have, live streaming, Netflix, so on and so forth. So that was the agenda 25 years ago. As we stand in year 2025, we are again talking about the next big revolution, that is artificial intelligence. Okay, this will be a game changer for what we have done in past 25 years. Now, मैं AI के बारे में क्यों बोल रहा हूँ, क्योंकि आगे चल के हम जो भी चीजें इंजीनियरिंग में करेंगे, टुडे वी विल फोकस ओनली ऑन द engineering R&D. Lot of intelligence that we have accumulated over the period of say 5, 6, 7 decades for India, and then for Europe and America, probably a century. Okay, that experience, that data can be used to make or produce the products and services for the future to come, in a simplistic word. Second, we are also talking about the sustainability. क्योंकि अभी क्या हो रहा है कि of course we are making progress, okay, we are generating products, we are providing high-tech services, but when it comes to the sustainability, we have to see it from the couple of angles. The first one is the sustainability of business model itself. Okay, I'm not sure how many of you follow the NVIDIA. NVIDIA के कल अमेरिका में नतीजे आने वाले थे, मतलब आज हमारे रात को. And lot of people were thinking कि how NVIDIA will sustain its business in next 10-20 years. And one of the key question which they were asking कि जो NVIDIA की चिप होती है, जो वो हजारों लाखों रुपए में बेचते हैं या डॉलरों में बेचते हैं, उसका लाइफ स्पैन क्या होगा, ये अभी दुनिया में NVIDIA छोड़ के किसी को पता नहीं है. Okay, so they were cautious about the sustainability of NVIDIA chip itself, because the entire artificial intelligence is based on that chip only. अगर वो chip चलेगी तो AI चलेगा. As of now, there are only handful of companies in the world that make, and NVIDIA is a business leader. So that is a business sustainability. Second, we are talking about the overall sustainability when it comes to environment. Okay, when it comes to society, what impact the artificial intelligence and the convergence will have. And thirdly, we are talking about the AMC, okay, that is advanced manufacturing convergence. Now, I'm sure many of you are engineering students from various streams, okay. The robotics was a game changer in the US and Japanese manufacturing industry, and that was typically deployed for the automobile sector as a to begin with. Then over the period, right from the decade of 1970 onward, robotics have taken huge role in the automation itself. आप अगर say for example Amazon का logistics hub देखते हो, या even you see the baggage handling system at the Indira Gandhi International Airport Terminal 3 or in Mumbai or any airport in the world, lot of automation with the help of robotics has been implemented. Okay. Now, again, this AMC will take a new direction with the help of artificial intelligence. So till now, what we have done is a past. Going forward from 2025 to 2026 onward will be a completely new territory. And that will shape the future of innovation that we are envisaging today. We are dreaming about today. Okay. So let's go to the next slide, that why the R&D is important as far as this year is concerned, the engineering R&D. Okay, as I said earlier, the convergence is one of the biggest driver. Okay, where simulation, the foundation model, which I have said that whatever data we have for 100 years, 50 years, 60 years has been simulated, and the isolated way of conducting manufacturing will now be integrated. Okay. So now they are talking about a pilot project where, say, because those who understand the manufacturing concept, let me give you an example of, say, iPhone. Okay. So as we know, most of the components of iPhone are produced in China and Taiwan. इंडिया में उसका असेंबली होता है. We only put the screw and assemble. Gradually, some parts in India will also be manufactured. So let's take a look at 3 or 4 countries where the currently integration is there through the supply chain, but not through the artificial intelligence. Let's take a automobile industry. Let's go to Tamil Nadu or in Maharashtra. We have Pune and Chakan. So Chakan is a base for big player like Volkswagen. And if you know, for auto industry, there is a cluster concept. That means all the component suppliers are in the vicinity of the manufacturing plant just to enable them just in time manufacturing. ये concept जापान से आया था. So without keeping much of inventory at the plant site, the vendors or the suppliers will ship you the components just in time. Up, you imagine Tata Motors, Volkswagen, Mahindra, Ashok Leyland, if they wanted to integrate all these things, it will be a huge, huge challenge, but it will also transform the way manufacturing will take shape in 5, 10, 15 years. अभी यूएस में ऑलरेडी ये शुरू हुआ है. There is a company called नाम उसका मैं something with this, I'll get back to that name. It's a Chrysler group, Stellantis. Okay, so Stellantis is a group and they have multiple auto companies under the Stellantis group, and now they are working on it only on the electrical vehicles, okay, on the EV. So that is convergence we are talking. Second, if we look at the past year data, almost $2.7 trillion were the R&D expenditure. Now, when I say $1 trillion means बिलियन के आगे 9 होते हैं, मिलियन के आगे 6 होते हैं और ट्रिलियन के आगे 12 होते हैं. So we multiply it by 90 rupees, that will be amount in huge amount in Indian rupee. So that's R&D spending, majority of it was in the cross-border collaboration. Okay, and the geographic distribution happened due to the innovation center. आपने लास्ट कपल ऑफ वीक्स एगो देखा होगा, गूगल विशाखापट्टनम में बहुत बड़ा एआई सेंटर या डेवलपमेंट सेंटर. इंडिया इज अ हब टू लॉट ऑफ डेवलपमेंट सेंटर्स फॉर मेनी मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज फ्रॉम यूरोप एंड यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स. ओके, नाउ दिस R&D spending is occurring not only within the parent country but in the collaborative country, that means a host country. Okay, so that is something very, very unusual if we go back and see 50 years ago. Okay, and this trend will continue in 2025, 2026, and 27. Here, we are looking at overall research and development spending. Okay, so say a company like Sun Pharma or a company like Aurobindo Pharma, they have their own R&D department. That is also counted. Okay, but most importantly, here we are talking about the cross-border collaboration. Okay, the third point which I mentioned you is a sustainability imperative. अब क्या हो रहा है कि आपने देखा होगा, आई डोंट नो द एग्जैक्ट ईयर, इन्फोसिस ने बोला था दे विल बिकम कार्बन न्यूट्रल बाय से एज्यूम इट बाय 2050. ओके, और आने वाले 25 साल, मे बी अर्लियर देन दैट, आई डोंट नो द एग्जैक्ट ईयर. नाउ मेनी कंपनीज आर पुटिंग देमसेल्फ ऑन अ पाथ टू द नेट जीरो रोड मैप. I am a consultant for one of the biggest FMCG company in India, which is owned by the British company. Now they produce lot of soap, shampoo, toothpaste, toothbrush, lot of FMCG products. Their hindrance is a packaging. और लोग क्या करते हैं, वो 1-2 रुपए का शैम्पू का साशा लेके शैम्पू यूज करके उसको फेंक देते हैं. नाउ इट विल टेक years and years and years to recycle it. So all these companies are fascinated by the fact that their carbon footprint has to be minimal. Okay. Now, how can we do that? Number one, adoption of the green technology. Second, the circular design approach. Now, कोई मुझे बता पाएगा सर्क्युलर इकॉनॉमी क्या होती है? एनी गेस? चूक सांगितलं तरी चालेल. काय असतं सर्क्युलर इकॉनॉमी? ओके, सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी में बेसिकली all the right from the inputs to the final products, okay, plus the recyclable amount is continuously used. Say simple example, हम लोग घर में बर्तन मांजते हैं, वो जो पानी होता है बर्तन मांजने के बाद वो कहीं सीवर लाइन में चला जाता है. शायद गांव में सीवर लाइन भी नहीं होती होगी, तो जमीन में उसका सीपेज हो जाता है. ओके, सो in circular economy you recycle that water and reuse it by giving minimum impact to the environment. Now this circular design or circular economy concept is now spreading over across all the industries, and that is just the beginning. Okay, so that is the sustainability imperative. Then the standards and risk is the fourth aspect that requires a lot of research and development. Because of data, because of information, okay, the cyber security and data privacy are coming closer and closer, and they will converge. Okay, because any data that you keep in your servers, say it's a data of your suppliers, data of your customers, or data of some compliance reports. Now there is a threat that this data can be hacked. Just हमने देखा था कि हमारा आधार का data compromise हुआ था. So now the privacy and cyber security will become a major function of convergence, and we are looking at the post-quantum cryptography planning. Okay, and that will be the quantum computing for advanced acceleration. अब आपको ये देखना है कि अगर हम AI का इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, why NVIDIA chip is very important, because it can compute or it can iterate the processes at much faster rate than the traditional Intel chip that we use in our desktop or laptop computer. Okay, so as of now, for quantum computing, the standards are defined, but they are not defined across the industry. 10-15 years from now, we will see quantum computing in every aspect of the industry. So slowly these standards will be evolving. At the same time, whatever information and data that quantum computing is handling, its security has to be considered as a prime aspect as far as the manufacturing or the engineering R&D is concerned. Lastly, अब क्या हो रहा है, कल मैं सर से बात कर रहा था, we study civil, we study electrical, we study mechanical, that is fine, perfectly fine. उसको हम silo branches बोलते हैं. But today we are talking about the interdisciplinary approach. Like I remember when I was doing my MBA abroad, people were studying mechatronics. People were studying food technology with biotechnology. So interdisciplinary concept आ गया है. Okay, majority of the streams are getting interdisciplinary, except the core civil, mechanical, electrical, but also within that, some form of interdisciplinary movement has been seen. Now, what is happening? The hybrid skill, that means one must have the AI proficiency. जैसे आपने आज से 15-20 साल 25 साल पहले देखा था कि आपको माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ऑफिस आना चाहिए, एक्सेल आना चाहिए, ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला, बेसिक स्किल, पावर पॉइंट आना चाहिए. Going forward, every engineering graduate will have certain kind of certification or proficiency in artificial intelligence. Why? Because no matter what you do, it will be an integral part of your day-to-day work. Okay? Because the next generation teams that will evolve, they will be totally based on artificial intelligence backed data. So the decision-making process will be much streamlined. Decision will be taken in a short period of time, thus giving a competitive edge to the company. So basically, three things that they come together, if you can see in those three circles: AI and advanced computing, then smart manufacturing and sustainable engineering. और ये तीनों ही पहलुओं के ऊपर 2025 में इंजीनियरिंग इनोवेशंस हुए हैं. Take an example of Ola Electric. Okay, I would not call it a smart manufacturing, but yes, it was something of a new concept. What Bhavesh Agrawal did, basically he said there won't be any Ola Electric showroom in your city. You go to website, you pick the color of the two-wheeler that you want, you pay certain money to book it, and then they will ship the scooter in component form to your house. You assemble it and you drive it DIY. Okay, so that is eliminating the dealer distribution network altogether. Okay, so within the smart manufacturing, again, the landscape of smart manufacturing means, of course, in a short period of time, that means you have to compete with others, you have to stay in front of your competitors. At the same time, it has to be cheaper, easily accessible, and thus economical. Okay, so lot of innovation in engineering were focused on these three concepts. Now, the second concept that comes when it comes to engineering is a machine learning. Okay, सोप्या भाषेत सांगायचं तर मशीन स्वतःच्या स्वतः शिकतं. ओके, I was visiting Mahindra and Mahindra's tractor factory in Nagpur. I belong to Nagpur. तो उस समय वो लोग एक दिन में अराउंड 300 ट्रैक्टर बनाते थे. वन डे दे यूज्ड टू मेक 300 ट्रैक्टर. दैट इज द सेकंड लार्जेस्ट tractor plant in Asia. So after couple of years when I went there again, so they said, sir, we are making 365 tractors per day now. So I asked them, have you done re-engineering? Have you done something business process alteration? So they said, we have done couple of it, and we have increased the productivity of our worker also. Okay. Now, when we are taking out the human element, the machine learning becomes a key factor. Say, for example, chip. Abhi India mein Tata, there are a couple of companies which have started making the semiconductor chip. Now, semiconductor chip is fully automated process with minimum human interface. Okay. So when we are looking at machine learning, then of course the thing that comes to our mind is a generative design. हम लोग generative AI भी बोलते हैं. We'll come to that part. But generative design क्या होता है? Basically, the AI will explore the vast design spaces and automate the multi-objective optimization, thereby generating a novel solution that human engineers might not discover. मान लो आज हम पेन इस्तेमाल करते हैं, 5 रुपए का, 10 रुपए का, 2000 रुपए का पेन इज पेन. Now, if I wanted to change the design of pen completely from what it is, then probably the generative design will have to come up with something that will challenge the status quo. That is one objective. That means radical shift in design. Second thing, if I want to improve it, make it one step better, two step better, and stay ahead of the competition, generative AI will do it for me. इंसान की कैपेबिलिटी एक लिमिट तक होती है. आई एम नॉट डिस्काउंटिंग द brilliance of human mind. Of course, AI is made by humans only, but generative design or generative AI will be much more faster than what human mind can think. So, design parameter drastically change हो गए. Secondly, the predictive maintenance. Now you see number of cars which are coming today with lot of chips and sensors. Like I have one German car. So जब भी schedule आता है वो मुझे alert करता है कि it's time to change so and so and so and so. It gives me the feedback. Before something could go wrong, it alerts me so that I come visit the workshop and get it preventive maintenance. Okay. तो उसे हम predictive maintenance कहते हैं. Now, imagine a factory set up with thousands of machines which are running 24/7, 365 days a year. Now, the machine learning model, it will analyze the sensor data to anticipate the equipment failure before it occurs. So, उससे क्या होगा? आपका डाउन टाइम कम हो जाएगा और आपका जो असेट है उसका लाइफ साइकिल एक्सटेंड होगा. Now, the predictive maintenance models are again based on past information which we feed into that program. And based on that, it will predict that after certain years of certain hours of work, the equipment will come to the maintenance schedule. So before that stage come, it will predict me earlier. That way I can do a preventive or predictive maintenance and reduce my downtime. Okay. So this will be another game changer in the manufacturing. The third one is the simulation. Okay. जब से computer आ गए, so lot of things were designed by using CAD and CAM, computer aided design and computer aided manufacturing. And subsequently we have the CNC machines, okay, which can, once you feed them the design and coordinates, it can create miracles and it can produce very, very accurately produced or manufactured component. Okay. Now, what AI will do with this, okay, it will speed up the FEA and CFD. What is FEA and CFD? These are the surrogate models and enable the rapid design space exploration. So today, say I want to design a component for International Space Station. Okay, we will look at multiple angles because the product or the component has to be used in space. So the metallurgy, the design, the temperature, the stress, all factors we have to consider it. Now imagine if we are using AI accelerated simulation and if we feed them the operating conditions, it will give you the model which are already we have it, that we call it as a surrogate models that we have, and it will accelerate to make it much more efficient and much more better. Say for example, गाड़ियों में हमारे बम्पर आते हैं 4-wheeler में, right? Now bumpers are typically made from the PVC material, or I would call it, let's call it simplistically, plastic material से बनाए जाते हैं. The use of bumper is to absorb the shock. Okay, क्योंकि पहला impact आगे या पीछे होगा, assuming collision front या back से होता है, side we will forget about for time being. Now, if the bumper can absorb certain amount of shock before it breaks or bends, then that shock wave is passed through the engine compartment, okay, and ultimately to the passenger compartment, depending on the gravity of the shock, okay. So the moment first impact occur, तो आपका airbag खुल जाएगा, अभी mandatory है 6 airbag, that is fine. But if we can design that component in such a way that it will absorb the maximum amount of impact with minimum amount of damage, at the same time cost effective, then AI accelerated simulation can help. Okay. Then comes the fourth parameter, quality and yield. Of course, when it comes to manufacturing, quality is very, very important. And yield means the ability to extract as much as possible with the minimum damage or minimum wastage. So this AI and machine learning will improve both the quality as well as the yield. अगर आप लोगों को सिक्स सिग्मा मालूम होगा, so you will know कि सिक्स सिग्मा में 1 मिलियन पार्ट पे कितने पार्ट डिफेक्ट होते हैं, उसी कंपनी को सिक्स सिग्मा मिलता है, जस्ट लाइक जनरल इलेक्ट्रिक. ओके, दे अचीव दिस वे अहेड before the internet came and before the, of course, robotics were there, but General Electric was an exceptional company. Now with AI and machine learning, all companies will be Six Sigma compliant. That means the quality will not be compromised at any cost. Now, हम Gemini यूज करते हैं गूगल का, हम माइक्रोसॉफ्ट का कोपायलट यूज करते हैं, हम ओपन एआई का चैट जीपीटी यूज करते हैं, उसको एक असिस्टेंट कह सकते हैं. दे विल असिस्ट अस टू गिव सम information that we want, and that information will be a pinpoint information, right? For engineering, they are developing the co-pilot. Okay, now what it will do, it will assist in coding, it will assist in CAD modeling, and the documentation, argument the engineer workflows, and automate the repetitive task. So once you tell them run this cycle for say 5,000 component, it will run it on its own. Okay, so today we are using the human interface to rerun the cycle, but once we have the co-pilots in manufacturing process, then that cycle learning, the human interface will be delayed, not as intermittent as what we do in today's environment. Now, this is something that fascinates me the most. Sustainable engineering and green technology. Now, as the economies in the world are growing, societies are becoming rich, people having access to modern equipments, there is an increasing burden on the mother nature in the form of pollution. So that pollution be the air pollution, be the land pollution, or be the water pollution. And the victim of this are the life on land, animal, life underwater, hundreds of species, millions of species, okay, and of course the air itself, okay. Now, what this AI will help us, it will help us to run the business operations or manufacturing operations by integrating the renewable component. Okay, आप देखिएगा अभी, of course, in my house I'm using solar to just make sure that my electricity bill become zero. So India has made dramatic progress when it comes to the renewable energy. Okay, now the problem with renewable energy is that the time issue with the solar, it can be used only in the daytime. The time issue with the wind, although it can be run 24 hours, certain months the wind flows do change because of the seasons and direction of earth rotation with regards to the sun. Okay. Now, by using AI, we are enabling deep water out offshore renewable generation. जहां तक मेरी जानकारी है, मैंने हिंदुस्तान में किसी समुंदर के अंदर रिन्यूएबल का इंस्टॉलेशन देखा नहीं. बट इफ यू गेट अ चांस टू गो टू डेनमार्क और इवन जर्मनी, okay, they have put miles and miles of wind turbines in the ocean, and they are making use of the winds over the ocean to generate the electricity. Now, when we are talking about the international water, जिसको हम deep water offshore बोलते हैं, वहां तक हम उसे ले जाएंगे. बट द क्वेश्चन कम्स कि अगर मान लो मैं बॉम्बे के सी शोर से 100 किलोमीटर दूर जाके अरेबियन सी में लगाता हूं, तो ऑफ कोर्स एज ए इंजीनियर वी हैव टू नो दैट transmission losses will occur. But now the modern technology allows you to minimize these transmission losses and get the maximum out of your deep water offshore generation. So that will be the blessing of AI and the green technology. Secondly, one of the things which a lot of civil engineers are facing today are the energy efficient buildings. I belong to a small village in बुलढाणा district. आमचं मातीचं घर होतं आणि मला आठवतं उन्हाळ्यामध्ये, म्हणजे चिखलीच्या जवळच आहे, चिखलीला आमचे काका राहतात. तुम्हाला जर माहित असतील, सराफ ज्वेलर, ते आमचे काका. सो टू बी स्पेसिफिक, खामगाव, मातीचं घर अजूनही आहे. ते मातीचं घर होतं. उन्हाळ्यात प्रचंड थंड आणि हिवाळ्यामध्ये रिजनेबली वॉर्म. That was a technology that we were using in the past. आप अगर ईरान में जाते हो या किसी डेजर्टेड कंट्री में जाते हो, you will see the similar structure made in the rural areas, because in desert the temperature goes very, very high. So they have the central air shaft that takes out the warm air from the room and it induces the cold air. Okay, ये पूरे मिट्टी से बने होते हैं. But unfortunately, today we are living in a concrete jungle. So we have to look at smart building with energy efficient system, carbon capturing concrete, and passive design principle reducing embedded carbon. आता थोडं मराठीत सांगतो. हे जे कार्बनचा जो उत्सर्ग होतो ना वातावरणात, जगामध्ये सगळ्यात जास्त रिसर्च याच्यावर चालू आहे. आपण त्याला कसं पकडू शकतो, how we can capture that. A number of experiments have been done. Some countries, they capture the carbon and then they put deep into the what you call deep into the ground. Okay, so that way the carbon gets what you call absorbed in the planet Earth. Some countries and some companies are using different way of capturing the carbon. Okay, now if we have to make the energy efficient smart building, so can we design a concrete जो हमारे कार्बन को एब्जॉर्ब करेगा, राइट? आज तक हम ट्री के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट है. विथ रैपिड अर्बनाइजेशन अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड and limited space for good quality trees in urban area, ultimately building will have to absorb the concrete. Okay, ये होगा. आज से 5-10 साल में ये definitely होगा. So that is one of the objectives where we can mitigate the carbon emissions in the atmosphere. Lot of people are using air conditioner today, but जब वो आपका कमरा ठंडा करता है तो वो बाहर की हवा को गर्म करता है, राइट? सो अगेन द एटमॉस्फेरिक टेम्परेचर इज गोइंग अप. ओके, सो इज देयर अ वे वेयर समथिंग ऑफ दैट नेचर कुड एब्जॉर्ब द हीट फ्रॉम द एनवायरनमेंट? सो दीज आर द challenges for the smart building. Okay, then the material itself. Okay, आज दुनिया में मैक्सिमम मकानें सीमेंट कंक्रीट से ही बनाई जाती है. Now, is there an alternative material which will be as cheap, as strong, as reliable, as fire resistant as that of what we are using today? Yes, but it is not cheap. Okay, so the R&D will be focused on making the building more sustainable. हम लोग इंडिया में क्या करते हैं सस्टेनेबिलिटी के नाम पे? रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग करते हैं, राइट? So that is fine, nothing wrong with that, it is one aspect. But if we look at the building itself, and अब फैशन कौन सा आ रहा है? ग्लास वाली बिल्डिंग आ रही है. यू गो टू गुड़गांव, दिल्ली, बॉम्बे, they also emit, they reflect a lot of heat. Okay, again it is environmentally not sustainable. These buildings may look great, but the job that they are doing is basically reflecting the heat. So in UK, what they did, they changed that glass into solar panel. Now that building is generating the power, but it is expensive glass. इंडिया में वो अभी भी लगाना मुश्किल है given the high prices of the real estate that we have. I always wanted to emphasize that जो भी front leading technology होती है वो महंगी होती है. But as the principle of economics says, when the quantity starts increasing, the average cost per unit starts to come down. And for a developing country like India to reap the benefits of this technology, we will have to wait a couple of years or probably half a decade or a decade or so. Okay. The third one, which I talked about, the circular economy, reuse, repair, and industrial symbiosis, जो डेनमार्क में किया गया है. So we are in a culture of use and throw. इस्तेमाल करो, फेंक दो. आई एम श्योर अभी जो ठंड पड़ने लगी है, आपके घर में इतने स्वेटर और इतने जैकेट्स होंगे कि आप पूरे के पूरे इस्तेमाल कर नहीं सकते. सो आप क्या करोगे? किसी गरीब को दोगे, विच इज अ गुड थिंग, और यू विल सिंपली डंप इट इन अ गार्बेज. ओके, नाउ दैट इज नॉट व्हाट द सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी सेज. नाउ व्हेन इट कम्स टू इंडस्ट्री, ओके, the maximum emphasis is given while designing a component or a factory layout or a equipment is to reuse and repair. हमें वापिस वो प्रोडक्ट खरीदने का नहीं है. You go back to 1980 and see the quality of motorcycles that we had back then. और आज के तारीख में आप देखो किस टाइप की बाइक आपको मिलती है. तकलादू, राइट? सो हर 5-10 साल में हम बाइक को चेंज करते हैं, 15 साल में कार को चेंज करते हैं. सो वी आर थ्रोइंग द ओल्ड प्रोडक्ट एंड बाइंग द न्यू कार. दैट इज अनएक्सेप्टेबल इन सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी. सेकेंडली, द बिगेस्ट एस्पेक्ट ऑफ सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी इज वाटर, एज आई सेड अर्लियर. कल परसों में एक डॉक्यूमेंट्री देख रहा था बीबीसी की. In Europe, they have created a post called Chief Water Recycling Engineer. सबसे अहम पोस्ट फैक्ट्री की, और उसका काम है कि पूरा के पूरा जो कंटेमिनेटेड वाटर होता है उसको रिसाइकल करने का, और जो भी रेसिड्यू बचता है उसको भी एनवायरमेंटली फ्रेंडली करके ईदर यू डिस्पोज इट ऑफ इन द फील्ड्स और एग्रीकल्चर और सिंपली पुट इट इन अ लैंडफिल. हम अभी उसके आसपास नहीं आए हैं. A vast country like India with 1.46 billion population, this will be a challenge. आज आप देखिए पूना का पानी खत्म हो रहा है, तेहरान में पानी खत्म हो रहा है. Water will be the next challenge, which our political elite sitting in Mumbai and Delhi, they don't care about it. They only care how they can win the elections, whichever form they want. But if the government says, if they have the vision of circular economy, okay, then with intervention of government, with incentives, all these things can be implemented. आज आप गंगा जी को देख लीजिए. कई सालों से लोग बोलते हैं गंगा मेरी माँ है, हम उसको साफ करेंगे. हुई है क्या साफ? यमुना देख लीजिए. We don't care about all these things, okay? But these are the live streams of India, okay? एक बीबीसी का रिसर्च आया था, दुनिया की 3 नदियां खतरे में है. एक है नाइल, इजिप्ट, मतलब इजिप्ट को बोला जाता है गिफ्ट ऑफ नाइल, जो ओरिजिनेट होती है इथियोपिया में. सेकंड है गैंजिस, जो हमारे गोमुख में जिसका उगम होता है हिमाचल में, गंगा के गोमुख में. आणि तीसरी आहे यांगसी. या तिन्ही नद्या येणाऱ्या काही वर्षात संपतील, वाळून जातील. And if this happens, billions of people lives will be at risk. Not only people, but the trees, animal, species, cow, everything. त्याच्यामुळे पाणी आहे ना, तुम्ही फंडामेंटल जेव्हा काही कराल ना, keep water as an element of your concern. Okay. Now let's go to the fourth point, carbon capture, जो CCU बोला था. Of course, lot of things are being happening in the world for industrial carbon capture and the carbon from the power generation. Okay. What they have done till today, over 50 million tons of CO2, and there are 700 plus projects in the world which are under development to capture the carbon. Now, for doing this, the government will have to give incentive to the industry. ठीक है, जैसे प्रोडक्शन लिंक इंसेंटिव मिलते हैं, जैसे रूरल एरिया में प्लांट लगाया तो टैक्स हॉलिडे मिलते हैं. कार्बन कैप्चर के लिए गवर्नमेंट को इंसेंटिव देना पड़ेगा. होप आवर फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर विल लिसन टू दिस डिमांड समडे. आज नहीं तो कल ये करना पड़ेगा. कल करे सो आज, आज करे सो अब. एंड लास्ट वन, आप लोगों ने बहुत सुना होगा इसके बारे में, इंडिया में भी इसकी बहुत हाइप हुई थी, ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन. ओके. मला हे सांगा, ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन काय हो? आई वांटेड टू नो फ्रॉम यू. भले ही गलत होगा जवाब, मुझे जवाब चाहिए आपसे. व्हाट इज ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन? बेसिक भाषेत सांगा मला काय आहे. एनीवन? अरे यार बोलो यार, तुम्हाला उखाणा घ्यायला सांगत नाही मी लग्नाचा. सांगा ना. वी आर ऑल इंजिनिअरिंग ग्रॅज्युएट्स, राईट? काय आहे हायड्रोजन? एनी गेस? ओके. मला सांगा पाण्याचा फॉर्म्युला काय?
ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन.
हाँ बोलिए.
हेलो.
हाँ बोलिए मैडम.
Green hydrogen produced using electricity from renewable energy sources like solar and wind. Hello.
Yeah, I'm listening. Okay, go ahead. Yes.
And otherwise, to split water molecules through the process of electrolysis also, we can get the green hydrogen process.
Absolutely. So basically, what is the molecular formula of water? H2O, 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen, they are together in a water. So in order to separate that hydrogen, we carry a process called electrolysis. Okay. Now technically the electrolysis is a very expensive process because we have to use lot of electricity. But if we can use renewable energy, ये स्लाइड पे देखो ना, नीचे लिखा हुआ है रिन्यूएबल पावर्ड इलेक्ट्रोलिसिस, तो हमें ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन मिलेगा. अदानी, अंबानी, lot of companies are focusing on that. Now, one of the advantages of hydrogen as such, it will be used in a commercial vehicle to begin with. Of course, वो गडकरी साहब वो हुंडई की हाइड्रोजन कार भी चलाते हुए देखा है, आती है. देयर आर हाइड्रोजन पावर्ड व्हीकल, बट उसके स्टेशन, उसका फिलिंग, उसका सेफ्टी वो अलग है. बट लेट्स फोकस ऑन दी ट्रक, बड़े बड़े कमर्शियल व्हीकल, उसके ट्रांसपोर्टेशन में इसका इस्तेमाल होगा. ओके, हेवी ट्रांसपोर्ट हम जिसको बोलते हैं. दैट वे the outcome of combustion will be the water vapors. ठीक है. आज जो आपके गाड़ी से कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड, सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड, नाइट्रोजन ऑक्साइड, ये जो एमिट होते हैं वो कम हो जाएंगे. ये दुनिया में चल रहा है. इट इज नॉट अ न्यू कंसेप्ट. 10 साल पुराना कंसेप्ट है. ओके. ऑल ऑफ ए सडन द नीड इज फेल्ट to have these initiatives, but by using the green method. आता तुम्ही बघा, भारतासारखा देश जिथे प्रचंड सूर्यप्रकाश आहे, आपण जर एखादी इलेक्ट्रोलिसिस प्रोसेस सुरू केली, से विदर्भामध्ये, जी फक्त सकाळी 6 वाजल्यापासून संध्याकाळी 6 वाजेपर्यंत चालेल, मग त्यांनी जो हायड्रोजन बनला तो टाक्यामध्ये स्टोअर करा आणि तो विका. हे आपण आता अजून रिन्युएबलवर आलो नाही, आपण ट्रेडिशनल इलेक्ट्रोलिसिसच्या गोष्टी करतोय भारतात. झाले, कामं सुरू झाले, वापरही सुरू झालेला आहे, पण इट इज अ ऑल्टरनेटिव्ह टू LNG, CNG and PNG. Okay, so green, kindly remember the word green hydrogen. And the fourth one is a biotech revolution. After COVID, human civilization realized the threat of viruses and bacteria. Okay, and lot of vaccines were developed. मैंने आपके HOD सर को बताया था कि मैं 2 दिन पहले नागपुर यूनिवर्सिटी में एक लेक्चर के लिए गया था. दे कॉल्ड मी फॉर माइक्रोबायोलॉजी एंड जेनेटिक्स. तो मैंने बोला सर मैं ये फील्ड का आदमी तो नहीं हूँ, बट उसमें AI के एंगल से आई कैन टॉक लिटिल बिट. एंड देन वी टॉक्ड अबाउट रिसर्च, ओके, द ब्रॉडर एस्पेक्ट. हियर इफ यू सी द थर्ड पॉइंट, द mRNA एंड RNA थेरेपेटिक्स, आपको अगर याद होगा तो अमेरिका में जॉनसन एंड जॉनसन, फाइजर, और क्या यार, आजकल कंपनियों के नाम याद नहीं रहते, देयर वर कपल मोर कंपनीज, और इंडिया में कोविशील्ड जो यूके केम्ब्रिज से आया था, एंड कोवैक्सीन, रशिया में स्पुटनिक. सो देयर वर 10-20 वैक्सीन्स अवेलेबल, वे क्रिएटेड, नॉट अवेलेबल, दे वर मेड अवेलेबल. तो मैंने वो जेनेटिक्स के बच्चों को सवाल पूछा था कि उसमें से कुछ mRNA के है और कुछ RNA के वैक्सीन है. ओके, जो हमारा टॉपिक नहीं है, वी आर ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग बैकग्राउंड, बट अभी फोकस ऑन द पॉइंट नंबर 3 हियर, मूविंग बियॉन्ड वैक्सीन टू प्रोटीन रिप्लेसमेंट, कैंसर न्यू एंटीजन वैक्सीन, and long-acting secreted proteins with improved stability. If you ask me personally, I am not biased. अगर इंजीनियरिंग और AI का कॉम्बिनेशन कुछ और ला सकता है, तो मेरे हिसाब से ये बायोटेक हमको कहीं के कहीं ले जा सकता है, जिससे हमारा दवाई का खर्चा खत्म हो जाएगा. ओके, सो नाउ आपने देखा होगा चाइना में दे हैव डेवलप्ड a vaccine for diabetes. They are under trial. Okay, they have found a permanent solution for diabetes. Okay, वो इंडिया में आने में बहुत टाइम लगेगा. रशिया में कैंसर का वैक्सीन आ गया, बट देयर आर हंड्रेड्स ऑफ टाइप्स ऑफ कैंसर. सो मुझे नहीं पता वो यूनिवर्सल वैक्सीन है या नहीं है, बट ओवर द पीरियड हम प्रोटीन रिप्लेसमेंट पे चले जाएंगे. वैक्सीन लेने की जरूरत नहीं, 2 बूंद पोलियो हो गई, ये सब खत्म हो जाएगा अगर ये रिसर्च AI असिस्टेड आगे जाता है तो, राइट. देन जो एंटीजन कोविड की टेस्ट होती थी, तो वैसे ही कैंसर के एंटीजन वैक्सीन आएंगे, आप घर बैठे ले लो उसे. ओके, एंड देन जो बॉडी में हमारा प्रोटीन का इम्बैलेंस होता है, ओके, वी विल टॉप अप दैट प्रोटीन इम्बैलेंस बाय कंडक्टिंग टेस्ट एंड गेट फिट फ्रॉम द डिसीजेस. आज हम केवल पैथोलॉजी करते हैं, सिलेक्टेड पैरामीटर, ब्लड शुगर चेक कर लो, वो किडनी चेक कर लो, फलाना चेक कर लो. वी आर लिविंग इन अ फर्स्ट जनरेशन. दिस इज व्हाट बायोटेक विल जनरेट इफ एवरीथिंग गोज according to the AI designed biologics. First point. Okay, so it will be early clinical entries. मतलब, for example, AI designed antibodies like ABS-101 for IBD. So AI, हर एक व्यक्ति जेनेटिकली अलग है. मैंने उस दिन के लेक्चर में ही बोला था, हम जब बीमार होते हैं तो हमको डॉक्टर बोलता है ये दवाई लो, और बोलता है दवाई लागू नहीं तो 3 दिन बाद वापस आओ, बिकॉज उसको भी मालूम है हर दवाई का असर अलग अलग व्यक्ति पे अलग अलग तरीके से होता है. इन फ्यूचर इंडिविजुअल मेडिसिन बनाई जाएगी, मेरे जीन्स के हिसाब से मेरी दवाई बनेगी, मेक टू ऑर्डर. ओके, एंड दिस विल shorten the development cycle and enhance the therapeutic specialty. बट ये आने में 20 से 50 साल लगेगा. ये अमेरिका यूरोप में आ जाएगा आने वाले 20 साल में. शायद इंडिया में आने में टाइम लगेगा बिकॉज इट विल बी लिटिल बिट एक्सपेंसिव. थोड़ा हम आगे चलते हैं. बायोटेक्नोलॉजी से हम जाते हैं मैन्युफैक्चरिंग 5.0 पे. स्मार्ट फैक्ट्री. राइट नाउ हियर टुडे वी हैव ब्रॉडबैंड, वी हैव 5G 6G 7G, सब कुछ आएगा. Okay, so integrating all the data using the network connectivity and closed loop, मतलब आपका जो कंट्रोल सिस्टम है, ठीक है, it will be in a closed loop and it will transform the production floor into intelligent self-optimizing environment. They will make their own decision. I am talking a very little interface of humans in these smart factories. It will run on its own, taking the feedback from the closed loop control system. Okay, then it will come the cobot. अब आप बोलोगे सर हमको रोबोट मालूम है, हमको को पायलट मालूम है. बेसिकली को पायलट और रोबोट का एक हाइब्रिड एंड ह्यूमन सेंट्रिक 5.0. जो नेक्स्ट जनरेशन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हमें लेके जाना है, दैट विल बी फिफ्थ जनरेशन. हियर व्हाट विल हैपन, the robots which are there, the collaborative robots will enable safer human-machine interaction, improving ergonomics and augmenting worker skills rather than replacing them. अब बोलोगे what is so unique with that? Now, you know, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने स्किल इंडिया, स्टार्टअप इंडिया, वोकेशनल, हमारे ये बहुत चीजें चल रही है बिकॉज वी हैव अ लार्ज यंग फोर्स ऑफ इंजीनियर. यू विल बी सरप्राइज टू नो, हम 10 लाख इंजीनियर हर साल प्रोड्यूस करते हैं, जिसमें से 2.25 लाख लोगों को नौकरी लगती है. बाकी 6.25 लाख लोग एक तो एमबीए करते हैं या फिर कोई नॉन इंजीनियरिंग काम करते हैं. स्किल विल बी द नेक्स्ट डिमांड फॉर द इंजीनियर्स. Whatever skills that industry require, our engineering graduate at the end of 8th semester should have at least couple of them, including AI. Now, once in a manufacturing cycle, based on your skill, okay, the collaborative robots, they will design a particular machine or a process in a such a way that it will match your skills. That way, your interaction with the machine will be more safe. Customize. हम जाते हैं ना ढाबे पे, होटल में, हम कस्टमाइज बोलते हैं ना, कम घी डालो, कम मीठा डालो, कम शक्कर डालो, कस्टमाइज. दिस विल व्हाट हैपन विद द कोबॉट एंड ह्यूमन सेंट्रिक 5.0. थर्ड विल बी एडिटिव मैन्युफैक्चरिंग. अब आप बोलोगे सर ये क्या है? 3D प्रिंटिंग आ चुका है, राइट? सो इट विल help based on the material to reduce the weight of the component, and at the same time उसका जो tooling process है, उसका change over time will be rapid, plus mass customization and on demand production with literally zero material waste. चाइना में एक फ्लैट की बिल्डिंग बनाई, अपार्टमेंट बिल्डिंग, यूजिंग 3D प्रिंटर ओनली. फाउंडेशन तक का काम सिविल वालों ने किया, बाकी का पूरा बिल्डिंग जो भी था 10 माला 12 माला मेरे को मालूम नहीं, एक हफ्ते में along with furniture, along with fitting was done. This will be the next big thing when it comes to 3D printing. Okay, आज के तारीख में छोटे छोटे कंपोनेंट ही बनाए जा रहे हैं, डेंटल कंपोनेंट आ रहे हैं, ह्यूमन बॉडी के कंपोनेंट भी बनाए जा रहे हैं, लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स इज हैपनिंग, बट ऑन ए लार्जर स्केल. ओके, वी विल हैव टू चेंज दी. आज 3D प्रिंटिंग अगर आप देखोगे, स्पीड इज वेरी स्लो इंडिया में, राइट? एक कंपोनेंट बनाने में आधा दिन लग जाता है. अब ये नेक्स्ट जनरेशन 3D प्रिंटिंग मशीन्स आएंगे जो आपको रैपिड टूलिंग से 15-20 मिनट में वो कंपोनेंट बना के देंगे. उसको हम एडिटिव मैन्युफैक्चरिंग बोलते हैं, इन एडिशन टू व्हाट यू आर डूइंग. एंड देन सस्टेनेबल ऑपरेशन. आपके मशीन का पावर कंजम्पशन ऑप्टिमाइज होना चाहिए. आप जो ग्रीन मटेरियल का मैक्सिमम इस्तेमाल करना है प्रोडक्शन इंटीग्रेशन में. थर्ड, जो आपका वेस्ट निकलता है फैक्ट्री का, ओके, इट हैज टू बी मिनिमाइज एंड इट शुड बी रिसाइकल. एंड अल्टीमेटली आपका टारगेट होना चाहिए कार्बन रिडक्शन. दोज हु आर इन अ फाइनल ईयर ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग, आप कार्बन के ऊपर कार्बन न्यूट्रलिटी या कार्बन रिडक्शन का प्रोजेक्ट कीजिए मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में. गो टू अ सिंपल फैक्ट्री, इट डजंट हैव टू बी हाईटेक फैक्ट्री, और उसके ऊपर प्रोजेक्ट कीजिए. दोज हु आर प्रोफेसर, यू शुड एनकरेज, okay, understanding the carbon cycle, understanding the supply chain, understanding the carbon footprint, and then come out with the recommendations. And last will be servitization. Okay, आपको sensitization मालूम है, but here the product as a service will be sold. Can you tell me one example जो हमारे इंडिया में चल रहा है इस वक्त? आपको मालूम है प्रोडक्ट एज ए सर्विस बेचा जा रहा है. आपको एमजी की इलेक्ट्रिक कार पता है? उसकी बैटरी आपको 3 रुपए किलोमीटर के हिसाब से किराए से मिलती है. आपके पास दो चॉइस है. आप पूरा पैसा देके वो बैटरी खरीद लो, 8 या 7 साल की वारंटी है उसकी सर्टेन किलोमीटर, या आप वो बैटरी किराए से लो. उसको हम बोलते हैं प्रोडक्ट एज ए सर्विस, जिसमें आपका अप टाइम गारंटी दिया हुआ है कि ये इतना चलेगा ही चलेगा, राइट. एंड देन shifting from one time sale to ongoing value creation through monitoring and maintenance. Now this will come in a big way. अब हम जो AMC वगैरह करते हैं, फ्रिज लिया तो AMC करो, कंप्यूटर लिया तो AMC करो, एप्पल का फोन लिया तो AMC करो. They wanted to come with a service. आजकालची उपकरणं अत्यंत तकलादू बनवली जातात, हे लिहून घ्या, जुन्यासारखी नाहीत. ओके, त्याच्यामुळे we are not talking about the consumer durables anymore. We are talking about the high-tech product. Okay, there are certain companies, they don't want to sell your product to you. They want to lease you on a monthly basis with a performance guarantee assisted by them. Why? Because they don't want you to know the secret of that product, but at the same time, they want you to assure that you will get a replaced upgraded product when the life cycle comes to an end. ओके, म्हणजे तुम्ही बघा, आसपासनं 20 वर्षानंतर तुम्हाला कार विकत घ्यायची नाहीये. कार ते तुम्हाला लीजवर देतील, तुम्हाला सगळं ट्रॅक करतील, तुम्ही कसं चालवता, काय करता, कोणत्या गड्ड्यात न आता. दे विल हॅव ऑल द इन्फॉर्मेशन युझिंग AI. And they will, when the new model comes, they will take back the old car, they will give you the new car. So this is a trend currently in Europe on a major scale, because geographically Europe is a smaller area, okay, much advanced economically, much advanced technologically, okay, as compared to America, which is geographically giant, Russia is giant, Brazil, India, China, हम काफी बड़े देश है. तो this advanced manufacturing 5.0 will take us to that step also at some point in time. Okay, now जैसे मैंने बात किया, इसका सबसे बड़ा R&D का फोकस होगा इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल. आई टेल यू, वन ऑफ माय फ्रेंड्स सन, उसका लड़का, उसकी शादी हुई थी. मैं तो ब्रह्मचारी आदमी हूँ, तो उसके शादी में गया था 3 साल पहले. तो मैंने कहा बेटा क्या कर रहे हो? तो बोले मैंने जॉर्जिया टेक से MS कंप्लीट किया, नाउ आई एम एम्प्लॉयड इन एप्पल. मैंने कहा वेरी गुड, एप्पल में क्या काम करते हो? तो बोले चाचा मेरा काम है ऐसी बैटरी बनाना जो 1 साल तक चले, एप्पल के फोन की. 1 साल बाद आप उसको रिचार्ज करना पड़ेगा. आई वॉज शॉक्ड. सो मैंने उससे बातचीत करना चालू किया, बट उसके फादर को पता चला, सर आ गए, तो बोले यार इसकी शादी है, आज के दिन बात मत करो, शादी होने के बाद बात करो. सो आई एम इन स्टिल टच विद देम, बट लुक एट द वे दे आर थिंकिंग. अभी हमको जो इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल मिल रहे हैं, बजाज चेतक टू व्हीलर 70 किलोमीटर, 80 किलोमीटर, 150 किलोमीटर। कार मिल रही है हमको मेड इन इंडिया, टाटा नेक्सॉन 340, 400 किलोमीटर। बीएमडब्ल्यू मिलती है करोड़ों रुपए की, 900 किलोमीटर। चाइना 2000 किलोमीटर की ईवी बना चुका है। ये एक हो गया, एक्सटेंडिंग द रेंज। ऑल इट स्टार्टेड बाय टेस्ला एंड बीवाईडी. ओके. सेकंड, ऑटोनॉमस ड्रायव्हिंग सिस्टम, अडास. आता बऱ्याच कारमध्ये हे येतं, माझ्याही कारमध्ये आहे, कोणी आलं प्राणी रात्री काही आलं तर ते सांगतो तुम्हाला आणि ऑटोमॅटिक ब्रेक लागतो. दिस विल बी अ फ्यूचर ऑफ रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट. एंड लास्टली, शेयर्ड मोबिलिटी मॉडल. आप अमेरिका में जाओ, वहां पे एक लेन होती है, आपके गाड़ी में अगर 2 से ज्यादा लोग हैं तो आप उस रास्ते से जा सकते हो. आप अगर अकेले चला रहे हो, आपको वहां जाने की अनुमति नहीं है. एट द सेम टाइम, कल परसों मैंने पढ़ा फेसबुक पे, आई डोंट नो फेक था या सही था, जसं तुमच्या काय म्हणतात ते, काय वडाळा, चेंबूर वडाळा में वो मोनो रेल है ना, तो उस टाइप की पॉड रेल आने वाली. पॉड, छोटे छोटे पॉड राहतील आणि ती रस्त्यावरनं धावेल. काहीतरी पुणे ते पिंपरी चिंचवड वगैरह, आई डोंट नो द रूट, बट वो बोल रहे कि वो कहीं महाराष्ट्र में होगा. आप शेयर्ड मोबिलिटी के ऊपर काम करो. क्या हो रहा है, जैसे लोगों के पास पैसा आया, एवरीबडी इज बाइंग अ कार. रास्ते लिमिटेड है, लोगों को ट्रैफिक का सेंस नहीं है. आज लोग दिवाली दशहरे के टाइम जब पूना से नागपुर, पूना से अमरावती का किराया 5-10 हजार होता है बस का, और एयरलाइन का 20 हजार होता है, लोग समृद्धि महामार्ग से आते, जाम हो जाता है वो रोड. शेयर्ड मोबिलिटी मीन्स आप पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्टेशन ऐसा बनाओ जिसमें मैक्सिमम, मेट्रो, हम लोग अभी मेट्रो की दुनिया में है. नागपूरमध्ये मेट्रो आहे, पुण्यात आहे, मुंबईत आहे, वेरी सून औरंगाबाद में आ जाएगा. राइट, सो फाइन. Again, it is a shared mobility. Thereby, we minimize the use of internal combustion engine. ये ऑटोमोटिव हो गया. सेकंड, हेल्थ केअर, AI पावर्ड डायग्नोस्टिक्स. आज तुमचा डॉक्टर काय म्हणतो, हा चल एक्सरे निकाल. मी माझ्या आईचा केस सांगतो. शी इज वेरी ओल्ड. उनको प्रॉब्लम था, एक ऑर्थोपेडिक के पास लेके गए, उन्होंने बोला कैल्शियम डेफिशिएंसी, जस्ट देख के बोला. 30 दिन दवा खाया, कुछ नहीं हुआ. फिर और एक रिनाउंड ऑर्थोपेडिक के पास लेके गए, वो बोले अपन एक्सरे करेंगे, तो ते म्हणे मांडीमध्ये सूज आली आहे इंटरनल. दवाई दी, 15 दिन में कुछ नहीं हुआ. अल्टिमेटली MRI किया उसका, तो पता चला मणका असतो त्याच्यामध्ये गॅप आली. सो नाउ MRI इज अ टूल, लिटिल बिट एक्सपेंसिव बट ठीक है, इज ओके, अफोर्डेबल, नॉट दैट एक्सपेंसिव. Now, next generation will be AI powered diagnostics. Doctor will make use of information in the AI model and he will diagnose. I'm sad to say that आपल्या देशात ग्रामीण भागात आणि नागपूर सारख्या शहरात सुद्धा डायग्नोस्टिक प्रॉपरली होत नाही. नहीं. रोबोटिक सर्जरी, दिल्ली में बैठ के आप गडचिरोली में सर्जरी कर सकते हो. टेलीमेडिसिन, वेरेबल हेल्थ, हाँ मेरे भी हाथ में वो एप्पल वॉच है, ठीक है, वो हुआ है सब. देन एरोस्पेस, द बिगेस्ट पोल्यूटिंग इंडस्ट्री ऑन द प्लैनेट इज द एविएशन इंडस्ट्री. अब गडकरी साहब बोलते कि वो जैसे पेट्रोल में इथेनॉल डाला, डीजल में वो ब्यूटेन डालने वाले, वैसे ही एविएशन में कुछ डालेंगे बोले. हो रहा है दुनिया में बहुत जगह. बट वी हैव टू यूज द हाइड्रोजन प्रपोल्शन. इंस्टेड ऑफ यूजिंग एनी हाइड्रोकार्बन बेस्ड फ्यूल, हाइड्रोजन का इस्तेमाल करेंगे. सेकेंडली, बैटरी पावर्ड एयरक्राफ्ट जो बॉम्बे से न्यूयॉर्क जाएगा, हो रहा है इसके ऊपर काम. मटेरियल एयरक्राफ्ट का और लाइट वेट होगा. एंड अभी आपने देखा होगा 3-4 दिन पहले दिल्ली का एयरपोर्ट मैसअप हो गया था, चेक इन नहीं हो रहा था, कुछ नहीं हो रहा था. वहां पे साइबर सिक्योरिटी कॉम्प्रोमाइज हुई थी ऐसा बोलते. तो जो एवियोनिक्स होता है उसकी साइबर सिक्योरिटी के ऊपर रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. सिविल इंजीनियरिंग, स्मार्ट सिटी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, जीरो एनर्जी बिल्डिंग एंड यूजिंग रोबोटिक्स इन कंस्ट्रक्शन फॉर ड्युरेबिलिटी. आता आमचं जुनं घर आहे नागपूरला, मेरी उम्र का है, 55 साल पुराना मकान है, 9-9 इंच की दीवारें इसकी पुरानी जिसमें बीएसएनएल का सिग्नल नहीं आता, इट इज ड्यूरेबल, अभी भी उसको पेंटिंग वेंटिंग करो, हर 5 साल में चल रहा है। नाउ दी इक्विपमेंट्स विथ विच द बिल्डिंग्स आर कंस्ट्रक्टेड, फ्लॅश ब्रिक्स आले आहेत, बरेच मटेरियल आलेले आहेत, राईट. नाउ द ड्युरेबिलिटी इन कंस्ट्रक्शन इज इम्पॉर्टंट व्हेन इट कम्स टू हाईवे. इट्स पैथेटिक. नागपुर अमरावती हाईवे देखो, पैथेटिक है, पैथेटिक. आज ही हाई कोर्ट ने बोला है एनएचएआई को, अब टोल आप क्यों वसूल कर रहे हो, इतने गड्ढे है. स्पेसिफिकली नागपूर अमरावती रोड के बारे में हायकोर्टची टिप्पणी आहे आजच्या पेपरामध्ये. Can we not make a highway without a pothole? Yes, we can. But वो नियत किसी में नहीं है. I'll be very blunt to say that. मैं दुनिया के 74 कंट्री घूम के आया हूँ, and the worst roads are in India. I can say on record. Even country like Ethiopia, Egypt, Iran, wonderful roads they have because they are made properly using engineering. हम लोग आज के ही पेपर में लिखा हुआ है समृद्धि ने रिकॉर्ड फैटेलिटीज का रिकॉर्ड ब्रेक किया. या दे से देयर इज अ हिप्नोटिज्म, बट व्हाट अबाउट द डिजाइन ऑफ हाईवे, व्हाट अबाउट द मटेरियल, व्हाट अबाउट द ड्यूरेबिलिटी. एक बारिश आ गई कि पूरा रास्ता खत्म हो जाता. आप देखो, मैं बहुत बार खामगांव जाता हूँ, अकोला से खामगांव, अमरावती से अकोला और खामगांव जाने में कितने पापड़ बेलने पड़ते थे. थैंकफुली अभी वो नया रोड बना हुआ है, बट वी स्टिल यूज समृद्धि. मेहकर तक हम समृद्धि यूज करके आते हैं, या शेगांव जाना है तो वो एक कौन सी जगह है वहां तक जाते हैं, फिर अंदर वाले रोड से जाते हैं. सो देयर इज अ बिग opportunity for civil engineering graduates to come out with tech-based innovation that will mitigate the carbon footprint of a building, ensuring the safety in construction, rapid turnout time for the project undertaken for the construction. हमारे यहाँ पुलिया बनाने में, ठीक है, वो बुलेट ट्रेन को तो 11 साल हो गए, ठीक है, उसके कुछ अलग इश्यू हो गए, लैंड ड्यूरेबिलिटी या लैंड एक्विजिशन हो गए, बट हम पुलिया बनाने में इतना टाइम लेते हैं, फ्लाईओवर बनाने में इतना टाइम लेते हैं. चाइना में सर 8-8, 10-10 महीने में काम हो जाते हैं. So anyway, those are the bureaucratic hurdles. Then comes the digital twins and internet of things, IoT जिसको हम बोलते हैं, ठीक है. So one is a life cycle twin, मतलब design, build, operate model that improves decision making across entire asset life cycle, creating continuous digital thread from engineering and operation. इलेक्ट्रोलक्स नाम की कंपनी है, आई थिंक ये स्वीडिश थी, अभी अमेरिकन हो गई या इधर वे ऐसा कुछ हुआ है. दे लुक एट द वे यू ऑपरेट द फ्रिज. हा, किती लोक ते दार उघडतात, त्याच्यात काय ठेवतात, काय नाही करत. सेकंड स्टेप व्हाट दे डिड, दे एनालाइज द डेटा एंड दे लिंक दैट फ्रिज टू द ग्रोसरी. तो जब भी आपकी सब्जी कम हो गई, दूध कम हो गया, बटर कम हो गया, चीज कम हो गया, वो ऑटोमेटिकली ऑर्डर कर देती. दैट एआई, दे अंडरस्टैंड कि ये परिवार कितना दूध पीता है, कितना चीज खाता है 15 दिन में, वो कैलकुलेशन करके जहां से सबसे सस्ता मिलता होगा उसको, भले ही वो बिग बास्केट फॉर एग्जांपल, सस्ते से सस्ता माल वो ऑर्डर कर देता है और वो माल डिलीवर हो जाता है. एट द सेम टाइम, से फॉर एग्जांपल लाइफ साइकिल ऑफ अ कार और अ टू व्हीलर. टू व्हीलर तो महंगा पड़ेगा, कार कौन चलाता है, कैसे चलाता है, रोड कंडीशंस क्या है, ये डेटा लेके वो डिजाइन को फीडबैक मिलेगा एंड दी ड्राइवर को फीडबैक मिलेगा, सो दैट दी प्रोडक्ट लाइफ साइकिल कैन बी एक्सटेंडेड एंड दी एक्सपीरियंस हैज टू बी एनहांस. आपने फोन में देखा होगा, मेरे पास आईफोन है, वो एप्पल वाला पूछता है कि मुझे आपका फीडबैक चाहिए, आप किस तरीके से फोन इस्तेमाल करते हो. आप अगर डेस्कटॉप यूज करें तो वो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट बोलता है कि मुझे आपका फीडबैक चाहिए, आपको कहाँ दिक्कत आती, कहाँ आपका ब्राउजर. व्हाई? टू इम्प्रूव द थिंग्स. Okay, then second one is a predictive operation. Now predictive operation में, okay, the IoT telemetry heads the real time health monitoring and the scenario testing. ठीक है, say you are making a bridge which can handle X amount of trucks or X tons of weight at any given in time. उसका तो पहले मॉडल बनेगा, सिमुलेशन होगा, वो सब करके वो ब्रिज बन जाएगा. आप देखिए दुनिया के जितने भी इंपॉर्टेंट ब्रिजेस है, सब ब्रिजेस पे सेंसर लगे हुए हैं जो बताते हैं कि उसकी कंडीशन क्या है आज के तारीख में। इंडिया में भी कई ब्रिजेस है। ओके, सो दे आर यूजिंग नॉट ओनली इन सिनेरियो टेस्टिंग बट इन अ real time and proactive maintenance with the optimized performance. Third, energies and facilities. Okay, here the building and the campus system optimize HVAC, जो मैंने बोला AC का system. Okay, lighting, emission in real time, reducing energy cost and environmental impact. मला आठवतं एका राज्यपाल साहेबांनी सांगितलं होतं की महाराष्ट्रातल्या सगळ्या विद्यापीठांमध्ये, मी फक्त विद्यापीठ कॅम्पसची गोष्ट करतो बरं का, सोलर पॅनल लावावेत. कारण विद्यापीठ हे सकाळी 7 वाजल्यापासून संध्याकाळी 7 वाजेपर्यंत सुरू असतं. सोलर पॉवरचा वापर करून कम्प्युटर वगैरे मुलांना शिकवावं. आजपर्यंत माझ्या माहितीत तरी नागपूर आणि अमरावती विद्यापीठात किंवा नांदेड विद्यापीठ किंवा औरंगाबाद किंवा पुणे किंवा मुंबई असं मोठ्या प्रमाणात लागलेलं नाही. प्रभू साहेब जेव्हा रेल्वे मिनिस्टर होते त्यांनी सांगितलं की रेल्वेचे जे फलाट असतात प्लॅटफॉर्म त्याच्यावर जे शेड असतं त्याच्यावर सोलार लावा. त्यांनी रेल्वेला उत्पन्न मिळेल आणि बाकीचे कामं सोलारवर चालतील. बोटावर मोजण्या एवढी स्टेशन आहेत भारतात ज्यांनी हे काम केलं. बट एट द सेम टाइम नागपुर मेट्रो ने बहुत अच्छा काम किया है. नागपूर मेट्रो इज वन ऑफ द ग्रीनेस्ट मेट्रो इन इंडिया. पण त्यांचं काहीतरी डिस्कॉम सोबत भांडण चालू आहे त्याच्यामुळे ते कनेक्शन झालं नाही, पण इन्स्टॉलेशन कम्प्लीट झालेलं आहे. ऑल्टरनेटिव्ह अँड रिन्युएबल एनर्जी, तुम्ही तुमचं जे अनुराधा कॉलेज आहे इन्स्टॉल, गेट सबसिडी, मेक यूज ऑफ द कोणी एसी प्रिन्सिपल HOD सरांकडे एसी असतील, find a way to use the environment friendly AC which are 5 star, minimize even आता solar ACs वगैरे आलेले आहेत. Okay, so that energy impact can also be tackled with the research and development. And then the breadth of the sector. Now what we do, आपण depth बघतो. Now implementing the expanding across manufacturing line, power grid, hospital, transportation network and smart cities with the tailored use case. हे जे IoT जे आहे ज्याला आपण इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग म्हणतो, क्लाउड मध्ये हा डेटा असतो. नाव instead of going there using IoT, you can go across the sectors. Okay, for what? To whatever tailor-made cases that you are using in any network. आता तुम्ही बघा आपल्याकडे ती रेलवेची ऍप आलेली है. यू कैन मॉनिटर द रेलवे, कौन से जगह पे मेरी ट्रेन है, आप रियल टाइम देख सकते हो. फ्लाइट के लिए भी रडार का नेटवर्क रियल टाइम आप देख सकते हो. सो पीपल गेट मोर इंफॉर्मेशन, मोर अश्योर्ड, मोर रिलायबल इंफॉर्मेशन सो दैट दे कैन प्लान देयर टाइम अकॉर्डिंगली. आप अगर विदेशों में जाओगे, बस स्टॉप पे खड़े रहोगे तो वो वहां पे लिख के आता या नंबरची बस इतक्या मिनिटात इथे येईल, ती सध्या इथे आहे. आपल्याकडे त्याची ऍप आहे पण बस स्टॉपवर या प्रकारची आपल्याकडे डिस्प्ले नाहीये. युरोप, रशियामध्ये सगळीकडे हे दिलेलं आहे. वाय? यू कॅन प्लॅन मच बेटर. ओके, देन the adoption signal. Okay, so this market has already reached the $20 billion by 2025 this year, with rising enterprise integration alongside AI for autonomous optimization and decision support. अभी मुझे बताओ, वो क्रिकेट, मैं ज्यादा क्रिकेट का फैन नहीं हूं, पण तो झोमॅटोचा CEO सांगत होता जिस दिन भी वो IPL की फाइनल या जो भी रहता, वो बोला कि हमने 2 लाख बिरयानी इंडिया में ऑर्डर फुलफिल किया, बिकॉज दे नो दैट क्रिकेट के टाइम लोग बिरयानी खाएंगे. जोमैटो इज ऑल ओवर इंडिया. सो ये जो डेटा है, जो आप लोग ब्लिंकिट, झोमॅटो, स्विगी, हा तुमचा जो डेटा जातो ना, हा सगळा पुढे AI साठी वापरात येईल. म्हणजे मग त्यांना कळेल की दिवाळीत किती मिठाई बनवायची हल्दीरामनी, किती नमकीन बनवायचं. झोमॅटोवाल्यांचे जे काय म्हणतात किचन्स राहतील, क्लाउड किचन ज्याला म्हणतो, किंवा रेस्टॉरंट राहतील, त्यांना कळतं. राईट? सो ऑल दिस थिंग विल एनेबल यू टू ऑप्टिमाइज युअर ऑपरेशन. जशी तुमची आई असते घरात, उसको मालूम है कि ऑन एन एवरेज 3 चपाती एक मेंबर खाएगा, कम ज्यादा होगा तो एक दो रोटी आगे पीछे. शी इज अ प्लानर, शी नोज, बिकॉज शी इज कुकिंग फॉर ईयर्स एंड ईयर्स एंड ईयर. सो उसको मालूम है. त्यामुळे इफ शी इज प्लानिंग अकॉर्डिंगली, वेस्टेज कम हो जाएगा, राइट. और वेस्टेज हुआ तो हम रिसायकल करते. आज की चपाती और आज का चावल उद्या आम्ही त्याला फोडणीचा भात किंवा फोडणीची पोळी म्हणून खातो, आम्ही फेकत नाही ते. सेम थिंग विल हॅपन इन इंडस्ट्री, मिनिमाइजिंग दी वेस्टेज. आता याच्यातला एक ऍस्पेक्ट आय हॅवंट टॉक इज अ ऍग्रिकल्चर, बिकॉज आय एम नॉट agriculturist, but I have fair understanding of agriculture economy. Now, this year we have seen in states like Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, part of Telangana, part of Gujarat and Rajasthan, अनाप शनाप बारिश गिरी. सो त्याला आपण ओला दुष्काळ म्हणतो. सरकारने तो जाहीर नाही केला, पण पिकाच्या पिकं गेली. Now, I was in a discussion with retired Commissioner of Agriculture, Government of Maharashtra, how AI can be utilized for crop plantation. So one of the thing that AI will need is a soil data, जो मिळतो आपल्याला, but the important thing is a climate. आणि तिसरा इम्पॉर्टंट एलिमेंट कीड, कोणते जंतू, कोणते बॅक्टेरिया त्या प्लांटवर अटॅक करू शकतात आणि केले आहे. तुम्ही बघा, आधी बोंडअळी यायची, मग त्याला जेनेटिकली मॉडिफाईड बीटी कॉटन बनवला. बीटी कॉटनवर 4 वर्षापूर्वी काय आलं, पिंक अळी आली, हो गया बीटी प्रोडक्ट फेल. सो दिस थिंग म्हणजे लॉट ऑफ रिसर्च इज गोइंग ऑन इन द वर्ल्ड. मिडल ईस्ट में अगदी कमी पाण्यापासून बनवणारा गहू बनवलाय, अगदी कमी पाण्यात उगवणारा राईस बनवलाय. ऑफकोर्स वी हैव टू मॉडिफाइड जेनेटिकली. हम ट्रेडिशनली वो कर नहीं सकते क्योंकि हमको 2.5 या 3 टाइम हमको खाना खाना है देश में, राइट. सो देयर इज अ बिग एडवांटेज ऑफ एआई व्हेन इट कम्स टू एग्रीकल्चर. आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि सर इंजिनिअरिंग और एग्रीकल्चर, इट इज अ इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी. आज सोलर पंप लागतोय शेतकऱ्याच्या विहिरीवर, सो देयर इज अ इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजिनिअरिंग अँड एग्रीकल्चर इज एम्बेडेड इनटू इट. आज कोणता फार्म मेकॅनायझेशन होत आहे तर मेकॅनिकल अँड एग्रीकल्चर इज नाउ इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी. सो प्लीज कीप इन माइंड द एग्रीकल्चर, बिकॉज वी बिलोंग टू द एग्रीकल्चर कम्युनिटी. Okay, I'm not saying ignore it, but if we can benefit the lives of those 50% of people who are associated with agriculture, it will be a God's gift to the farmers of India. त्यांचे अनेक प्रश्न असतात. फर्टिलायझर मिळत नाही, MSP मिळत नाही, खाद मिळत नाही, बियाणं मिळत नाही, लेबर मिळत नाही, मालाला तर भाव मिळत नाही, 1 आणि 2 रुपये कांदा विकतायत ना. सेकंडली, आपके चिखली के पास, मेहकर चिखली रोड पे ऑर्गॅनिक फार्मिंग नाबार्ड नावाची संस्था आहे. आम्ही एक काम केलं होतं. आम्ही त्या गावाला भेट द्यायला आलो होतो. मी थांबलो नाही त्या दिवशी. मी फक्त सराफांच्या घरी गेलो, चहा पिलो आणि आम्ही परत मेहकरकडे निघालो. ऑन द वे आम्ही तो फार्म बघितला. ही इज डुईंग ऑर्गॅनिक. अंडे बनवतो ऑर्गॅनिक, आणि एक अंड 22 रुपयाचं पुण्यामध्ये विकलं जातं. पुण्यातला टेम्पो त्याचं अंड घ्यायला दर शुक्रवारी येतो. हा मला वाटतं 8 की 9 रुपयांनी त्यांना तो अंड देतो. त्याच्या घरी येऊन ते घेऊन जातात आणि ते पुण्यात 22 रुपयाचं ऑर्गॅनिक पॅकिंग वॅकिंग करून विकतात. सो ही इज व्हेरी हॅपी. सो ऑर्गॅनिक फार्मिंग, अगेन वी हॅव टू मेक यूज ऑफ AI, इंटिग्रेट इट, सी द प्रोडक्ट सायकल, सी द क्लायमॅटिक कंडिशन. आता तो तुम्ही शेडनेट मध्ये करू शकता, हायड्रो बेस्ड, घराच्या आत तुम्ही त्या पाण्यामध्ये भाज्यांचं उत्पादन. सो काइंडली डू नॉट इग्नोर agriculture. Okay, and then the last one is a robotics and autonomous system. Now आप देखिएगा वॉशिंग मशीन, फॉरगेट अबाउट दिस स्लाइड फॉर टाइमिंग. पहिले आपण तो गोटा असायचा, त्या गोट्यावर कपडे आपटून आपण किंवा आपल्या घरात काम करायला बाई, दे यूज टू वॉश दॅट. देन केम दी वॉशिंग मशीन ट्रेडिशनल. देन केम दी सेमी ऑटोमेटिक वॉशिंग मशीन. देन केम दी फुल्ली ऑटोमेटिक वॉशिंग मशीन. अभी मेरा मशीन खराब हुआ था दिवाली के पहले, तो मैंने लिया, तो इट इज बॉश कंपनी का. तो उसने मेरे को बोला सर इसमें एंटी बैक्टीरिया साइकिल है, इसमें स्टीम साइकिल है, इसमें नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी साइकिल है, इसमें. मैंने कहा सर इतना कौन यूज करेगा. वो बोले दिस इज व्हाट पीपल वांट. मेरे घर में 2 पिल्ले थे, वो बोथ डाइड लास्ट ईयर. तर बऱ्यापैकी ते खेळायचे. मग ते ठीक आहे, कंटॅमिनेशन. आता मांजर आहे माझ्याकडे, तो म्हणे कंटॅमिनेशन होत असेल तर तुम्हाला अँटीबॅक्टेरियल सायकल वापरावं लागेल, जी 2.5-3 तास चालतं वॉशिंग मशीन. सो ऑटोमेशन जो हुआ है, आज आप रेफ्रिजरेटर ले लो, मेरे पास एक बॉश का रेफ्रिजरेटर है जो बाहर का क्लाइमेट देख के अपने आप खुद का टेम्परेचर कंट्रोल करता है. आमच्या म्हणजे आम्ही एकत्र कुटुंबात आहोत, आमच्याकडे दुसरा एक चायनास आहे, त्याला मॅन्युअली करावं लागतं. सो नाउ ऑटोनोमस सिस्टम विल रूल. मेरे गाड़ी में क्रूज कंट्रोल है, और काय म्हणतात त्याला, ऑटोनॉमस ब्रेकिंग सिस्टम आहे. I don't have to do anything. It will see who are there. I only detect. इवन त्याचा कॅमेरा सांगतो की स्पीड लिमिट 80 आहे, तर ती 80 वर चालेल. तुम्ही जर समृद्धीवर गेला राईट लेनला तर 120 वर चालेल, मधात आला तर 100 वर चालेल, डाव्या लेनला गेला तो रीड करतो. तसे सिग्नल ऍटलीस्ट समृद्धीवर आहेत. सो ऑटोनॉमस सिस्टम will basically an AI based autonomy. Now you imagine the quantum of information we have today. Okay. So right from evolution from scripted automation to adaptive learning system capable of responding to changing environment and tasks without human intervention. या ज्या टेस्लाच्या ज्या ऑटोनॉमस कार आहेत ना, ट्रॅफिक असली की ती स्लो होईल, सिग्नलला थांबेल आपोआप, ऍक्सिडेंट झाला तर अलर्ट करेल. यू डोंट हॅव टू डू एनिथिंग. त्याच्यात थोड्या लोअर लेवलचं ऑटोनॉमी आपल्या भारतातल्या कारमध्ये मिळत आहे. नाउ यू इमेजिन आप ये एग्रीकल्चर को अप्लाई करके देखो, कितना मजा आएगा. बट उसके लिए फार्मर को एजुकेट करना पड़ेगा, टूल्स आएंगे, डिवाइसेस आएंगे, गवर्नमेंट को सब्सिडी देना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज अवर फार्मर इज स्टिल पुअर. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द कॉमन फार्मर, नॉट द फार्मर ऑफ पुरंदर और Baramati. They are rich farmers. So it is AI enabled autonomy. With the information, you will get things. Then cobots and AMR. Okay. So it is the safe human robot collaboration and flexible interlogistics in the factories and warehouses with improved safety feature and intuitive programming interfaces. अगेन ऍग्रिकल्चर मध्ये आपलं 25% वेस्ट होतं साहेब, प्रोड्यूस. लॉजिस्टिक मध्येच खराब होतं आणि 5-10% सडून जातं. मग त्याला बिचारायला फार कमी मिळतं. नाव इफ यू लुक एट द बिगर कंपनीज लाईक रिलायन्स, दे आर मेकिंग यूज ऑफ दिस ऑटोनॉमस लॉजिस्टिक्स. कारण टमाटर हँडल करायला वेगळं स्किल लागणार, पालक भाज्या हँडल करायला वेगळं स्किल लागणार, कांदे बटाट्यासाठी वेगळं स्किल लागणार, फळांसाठी वेगळं स्किल लागणार, केळीसाठी आणि सफरचंद आणि पायनॅपल साठी. सो सिमिलरली इन अ फॅक्टरी, ओके, दी फ्लेक्सिबल इंटर अॅनालॉजिस्टिक्स त्यांनी म्हटलंय. सो ह्युमन विल टेल, इट विल प्रोग्राम, and the rest work will be done by the cobots. Okay, co-pilot plus robot. Second comes the field robotics. Okay, now तुम्ही बघा स्टील मिल मध्ये, मी भिलाई स्टील प्लांटला होतो, बहुत टेम्परेचर रहता है. जहां जहां हजार्ड है, जैसा बॉम्ब डिटेक्शन के लिए रोबोट लेके आते हैं, वॉर पे भी रोबोट चला जाता है, क्योंकि रोबोट को गोली लगी तो रोबोट खराब होगा, इंसान की जान नहीं जाएगी. सो देर आर सम क्रिटिकल इंफॉर्मेशन, क्रिटिकल ऑपरेशंस वेअर ह्युमन्स हॅव थ्रेट, वेअर रोबोट कॅन बी सेंड. आता मंगळावर माणूस पाठवायच्या आधी ते रोबोट पाठवतील, पण त्यांनी परिणाम काय होईल आपल्याला माहित नाही, की मंगळावर माणूस किती दिवस जगेल. पण रोबोट डेफिनेटली विल कम बॅक, जर काही मॅग्नेटिक किंवा सोलर रेडिएशनचा फरक वगैरे पडला नाही तर. अल्टिमेटली अ ह्युमन शुड गो, बट अ प्लेसेस वेअर ह्युमन कॅनॉट गो, द रोबोटिक. तुम्ही बघा आपल्याकडे हे जे गटार साफ करणारे लोक आहेत, किती लोक मरतात बिचारे, त्यांचा तो रोजगार आहे. पण कॅन वी असिस्ट देम सेफ्टी? Can we, I am not saying bring the robot and clean that, but of course that will be the future. इनकी नेक्स्ट जनरेशन ये काम नहीं करेगी यांच्या समाजातली. त्याच्यामुळे फील्ड रोबोटिक्स. देन सेफ्टी अँड गव्हर्नन्स. ओके, नाउ इन एनी सिस्टम, be it your computer, be it your phone, be it your car, be it operation, safety is of paramount importance. You don't want your battery to explode. You don't want some equipment to fall down. You don't want your scooter to break its chassis or car break its gearbox. No, that is the operational safety. Here, we are looking at the advanced functional safety protocol, simulation at a scale for validation and comprehensive test coverage framework to ensure reliability. So reliability, flexibility and safety for any component. आज तुम्ही बघा, अनफॉर्च्युनेटली महाराष्ट्रात ज्या औषधी विकल्या जातात, आय एम नॉट शुअर अबाउट द इंडियन डेटा, 25% औषधी खोट्या आहेत, फेक आहेत. तुम्ही फार्मसिस्टला म्हणता भैया ये दे दो, तो देतो, तुम्ही जेवणानंतर जेवणाआधी काय ते खाता, बिलिव्हिंग दॅट इट्स अ ओरिजिनल मेडिसिन. बट विथ AI you can ensure that medicine is not fake. त्याचे आयडेंटिफिकेशन राहतील. मध्ये त्याचं QR वगैरे आलं होतं, पण भारतातल्या लोकांनी फेक QR सुद्धा बनवला. मग बारकोड आलेत, मग बॅच नंबर आलेत. देर इज अ वे आउट. ओके, दी टेक्नॉलॉजी विल ऑलवेज बीट ह्युमन इंट्युशन. माणूस खूप चालाक आहे, त्यातल्या त्यात भारतीय लोकांना रस्ते खूप काढता येतात सिस्टम मधले, बट AI विल सुपरसीड दॅट. सो again, with the operational safety in engineering, the governance, that means transparency will be there. So मध्ये गडकरी साहब म्हणाले ना कि वो बोर्ड लगाएंगे, ये हाईवे का पट्टा ये ठेकेदार ने किया था, इतनी इसकी कॉस्ट थी, इतना इसका रिपेयर था, आप QR कोड साइन कर लो, आपको पता चलेगा. मग या ट्रान्सपरन्सी मध्ये AI नी हेही आलं पाहिजे की हा टेंडर मध्ये 20 सेंटीमीटर म्हटलाय, हा 20 सेंटीमीटर आहे का खरोखर. मग ते रिअल टाइम टेस्ट होईल. ते मग जेव्हा साहेब इन्स्पेक्शनला येतात तिथेच तो 20 सेंटीमीटर असतो, बाकी सगळ्या ठिकाणी तो 10 सेंटीमीटर असतो. राइट. सो लॉट ऑफ ट्रांसपेरेंसी विल कम इन कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑल्सो. यू लुक एट दी सिविल कंस्ट्रक्शन इन पुणे, आपका बिल्डर आपको बताता है सुपर बिल्टअप, ये बिल्टअप, वो बिल्टअप, प्लास्टर का थिकनेस इतना है, ईट इतनी है. यू डोंट नो. इन तायवान, वन ऑफ द टॉल बिल्डिंग दे डिस्कवर दॅट भिंतीमध्ये प्लास्टिक भरलेलं होतं, प्लास्टिकच्या बाटल्या. And Taiwan is an earthquake-prone country. They were shocked. Of course, the building was earthquake-proof, but they were shocked to see. कोणी भिंतीच्या आतमध्ये काय कोणी चेक नाही करत फ्लॅट घेताना. हो सकता है कोई गड़ा मुर्दा किसने रखा होगा. Right? So governance is also AI is an enabler for the governance. Transparency, all information has to be presented to the end user, and then the deployment trend. The last point, that means तुमचं जे ट्रान्झिशन होतं कुठून, फ्रॉम एक्सपेरिमेंटल पायलट टू द प्रॅक्टिकल डिप्लॉयमेंट अक्रॉस द इंडस्ट्री, more than 50% of the robotics engineer predicting high level adaptive autonomy within 5 years. काय होतं माहिती का, once you, those who are from mechanical or civil or electrical engineering, आपण त्या रोबोटला काहीतरी शिकवायचा प्रयत्न करतो की तू जा, हे उचल, ते ठेव, असं ठेव. वी प्रोग्राम इट अँड इट परफॉर्म. ओके, but in industry, okay, right from experiment, अगर मुझे एक टास्क उससे कराना है और मुझे उसको डिप्लॉय करना है, okay, more than half of the robotics engineer, they say that adaptability will be adaptive autonomy will be very very high within next 5 years. That means ज्याला आपण म्हणतो ना फ्रॉम काय, फ्रॉम लॅब टू मार्केट वगैरे असं काहीतरी ते बॉटनी वगैरे वाले, म्हणजे तुम्ही एका आयडिया पासून मार्केट पर्यंत त्याला न्या. तो जो टाइम फ्रेम आहे, तो टाइम फ्रेम येणाऱ्या 5 वर्षात कमी होईल इन रोबोटिक्स. सो यू हॅव सर्टन आयडिया इन युअर माइंड, सो यू come up with a plan, you create a pilot experiment, you build a model, you test it, then you test the viability, then you test the economics, then you formulate a manufacturing plan, then you get the BIS, ISI approval, then you launch the product, and then the product is accepted in the market. It's a huge gap. But this gap has to be mitigated using AI and using the robotics. So the last slide, एक अजून 5 मिनिटं घेतो, because this is important. Quantum computing. Okay, now आप लोग जो भी सॉफ्टवेयर यूज कर रहे हो, इवन इन इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस, laboratories, factories, industries, hospital, government services, it is going to change. Why? Because once we replace the quantum inspired and hybrid algorithms offer immediate benefit for complex optimization problem and machine learning tasks without requiring full quantum hardware. Now that is the beauty of it. Okay. So algorithm what we are writing today, okay, if we can rewrite those hybrid algorithm using inspiration from quantum, our life will be much easier. So you see on the flow chart on the right side, the classical processing, हे जे निळ्या रंगात आहे ना, data preparation, classical post processing, and then there is an engineering solution. But on the right hand side, in a purple color, there is a quantum algorithm. You use the hybrid optimizer and you get the quantum simulation leading to the final solution. So this process will handle will handle large amount of data within a short period of time, giving you a reliable solution. Second, the material and chemistry, molecular simulation and catalyst. Okay, it shows that promising acceleration with the quantum uh, quantum approaches, enabling more accurate modeling of quantum phenomena in material engineering. Now, this is another challenge. Actually, माझा मेकॅनिकल इंजिनिअरिंगला खूप आवडता सब्जेक्ट होता, मटेरियल सायन्स अँड मेटलर्जी. See, material again is a combination of molecules, molecules and atoms. Okay, we say diamond is the hardest form of material. Yeah, that's why we use diamond cutting tool, right? So gold cannot be artificially made. Now diamond can be made artificially. Now in a requirement where the existing material has to be replaced by the lightweight, reliable, आपण ते कार्बन फायबर वगैरे बघितले ते सगळे आले. That is fine. The issue with carbon fiber even today, it is expensive. For aviation, तुम्ही इंडियन रेल्वेच्या गाड्या बघा आणि अमेरिकेतल्या युरोपमधल्या ट्रेन बघा, ते लोक ॲल्युमिनियम वापरतात. आपल्या गाड्यांमध्ये जाड जाड रेल्वे गाडीची गोष्ट करतात, जाड लोखंड आहे. पण आता वंदे भारत बघा, लाईट वेट आहे थोडी, कारण ती स्पीडनी जाते. पण वंदे भारत सोबत समोर म्हैस गाय वगैरे आली की ती चपकते समोरून, राईट. जुन्या गाड्यांना इफेक्ट नाही व्हायचा, कारण त्यांची स्पीड कमी असायची आणि सेफ्टी वॉज इन क्वेश्चन. आता हाय स्पीड ट्रॅक आलेले आहेत. The material for track is different than the traditional railway track. So materials and chemistry will always drive you to the next level of innovation, where an alternative with reliability and cost effectiveness shall be available. Then, of course, PQC readiness. Okay, here we plan migration to standard post-quantum cryptography schemes and prepare for the quantum threat to the traditional encryption. Those who are not familiar with the computer science, when we are looking at quantum computing, okay, here the readiness for PQC has to be ensured. And how that we have to ensure? We have to make sure that we have to prepare for the quantum threat to the traditional encryption. जिस तरीके से हम data, see, AI is nothing but dealing with data, different type of data. And as long as that data is encrypted, a certificate, जैसा बोलता है WhatsApp encrypt होता है, मैं अगर किसको हाई लिख के भेजूं, nobody can intercept and read it while transmitting that conversation, right? Communication. So similarly, the data encryption. So it will be a new task, for quantum computing to have the PQC readiness. And lastly will be implementation roadmaps, where you have to partner with the cloud provider. आज AWS ही जगातली मोठी कंपनी आहे. काही दिवसांनी तुम्हाला, काही दिवसांनी काय, काही वर्षात येईल ते, you will not have Windows in your PC. it will be in the cloud. Office will be in the cloud, and you will have excellent network coverage across India. त्या दिवशी ते होईल. So you don't have to carry anything. You carry a tab, connect to internet, open the window and access your file from anywhere. ये हो रहा है आज, but पूरे इंडिया में होने में इसको टाइम लगेगा. Okay. Then to access the quantum resources benchmark against classical baseline and identify specific engineering problem with potential quantum advantage. Problems are there in every system. Okay, the nature of problem evolve and changes from a certain period of lifetime of the machinery or product cycle, or for any other technological reason. Okay, now when we are looking at this, is called as classical baseline कि ये problems आते थे. Okay, now we are using those problems for the advantages of potential quantum processing that we will be doing, where the cycle will be much shorter, data will be more, outcome will be more reliable, and efficiency will be much higher. ही एक शेवटची स्लाइड आहे, कारण 4:15 वाजले, मी तुमचा जास्त वेळ घेणार नाही. आता जगामध्ये काय होत आहे, शिफ्ट्स अँड सिग्नल. हा इकडे उजवीकडे भारत बघा, 9.5 बिलियन आहे ना, मेरे को दिखता नहीं, हाँ 9.5 बिलियन. हे जे 2.7 ट्रिलियन आहे ना, त्यातले $9.5 बिलियन आपले आहेत. अमेरिकेचं सगळ्यात जास्ती कॉन्ट्रीब्युशन आहे. ठीक आहे. आता स्केल, या 2.7 मध्ये अमेरिका, चायना, युरोपियन युनियन, साउथ कोरिया, इस्रायल अँड इंडिया. सो we are spending because we have to innovate. Okay. Second, in which area it is being invested? AI, machine learning, infrastructure, advanced semiconductor, clean energy, space commercialization and biotech. तुम्ही आता बघा, म्हणजे मला ते बायोटेकचे लोक सांगत होते की आता कोथिंबीर सडणार नाही, भाज्या सडणार नाही. मला ते काही फार विशेष कळलं नाही, पण आपण जे फेकून देतो ना कोथिंबीर वगैरे, ती हिरमुसली की आपण ती वापरत नाही, आपण ताजी कोथिंबीर वापरतो. सो दे आर वर्किंग ऑन एक्सटेंडिंग दी लाईफ स्पॅन ऑफ दिस पेरिशेबल. केळं तुम्ही 5 दिवस उन्हात ठेवा, ते काळं होतं, बिकॉज इट राईप्स, शुगर मेक्स इट ब्लॅक. हे फूड बायोटेक्नॉलॉजी मध्ये फार मोठं इनोव्हेशन आपल्यासारख्या देशात होऊ शकतं. बट स्पेस मेन्शन, बिकॉज इंडिया इज वन ऑफ दी लो कॉस्ट स्पेस प्रोव्हायडर, लॉन्च प्रोव्हायडर इन द वर्ल्ड. आपण खूप स्वस्तात चंद्रयान केलं, आपण खूप स्वस्तात मंगळयान प्रोजेक्ट केला. सो वी हॅव दॅट टॅलेंट, वी हॅव द ॲबिलिटी टू ब्रिंग दॅट कॉस्ट, आणि म्हणून R&D फोकस हा त्याच्यावर होता. देन इकोसिस्टम, growing public-private partnership, regional innovation hub, increased talent mobility between academia industry. Forget this. अपना पासपोर्ट हमने जब बनाए थे तो वो सरकारी ऑफिसेस थे. आज पासपोर्ट पूरा TCS को आउटसोर्स किया गया है, एंड देन देयर इज अ मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ होम एंड मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर, इसको इंटीग्रेट किया गया. इट इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट सोफिस्टिकेटेड सर्विसेज, PPP सर्विसेज इन इंडिया, राइट. सो इन पब्लिक प्राइवेट पार्टनरशिप, रीजनल इनोवेशन हब, जो मैंने आपको अभी गूगल का वगैरह बताया था, राइट, एंड टैलेंट मोबिलिटी बिटवीन एकेडमिया एंड इंडस्ट्री. अनुराधा इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में ये इंडस्ट्री एज्युकेशन इन्स्टिट्यूट इंडस्ट्री इंटरफेस IIF, तुम्ही चिखलीला आहे, तुम्ही पुण्या मुंबईला नाही आहात, बट स्टील विदर्भातले जे उद्योग आहेत त्या उद्योजकांना बोलवत जा, वीकेंडला मुलांशी इंटरॅक्ट करा. काही प्रोजेक्ट असतील लहान, रेग्युलर अकॅडमिक करिक्युलम मध्ये नसेल बसतील तर विंटर समर हॉलिडे मध्ये करा. गेट देम एंगेज. ओके. ते नसेल तर MSCB सोबत करा, ते नसेल तर नाबार्डला विचारा, ऍग्रिकल्चर सोबत करा, बट ऍटलिस्ट 100 पैकी 20 मुलांनी हे केलं पाहिजे. सो दॅट वे दी कल्चर विल एस्टॅब्लिश. आता NEP मध्ये सगळं आलेलं आहे मॅन्डेटरीली, पण तरी ग्रामीण भागात या चॅलेंजेस आहेत. अर्बन मध्ये हे खूप लवकर होतं, पण अर्बन मध्ये कॉम्पिटिशन खूप आहे. सो ऍटलिस्ट तुम्हाला औरंगाबाद जवळ पडत असेल तर औरंगाबाद, और खामगावला तर तेवढा इंडस्ट्री नाहीये, बुलढाणालाही तेवढा नाहीये, राईट. सो इट कुड बी जालना, इट कुड बी अकोला और नागपूर और अमरावती. सो त्या
Dr. Atade, sir, sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, I think our next speaker has joined with us and we have to go for the next session, if you could permit. Can you proceed, sir?
शेवटची स्लाइड. So
Yes.
implication faster diffusion from lab to industry application, जो मैंने आपको पहले बोला ना, आइडिया से लेके एंड तक. So with the global R&D investment, this will be the next future. So again 90 मिनिटे याच्याकरता फार कमी होते, पण तुम्ही ऐकलं. आणि आता नेक्स्ट स्पीकर आले, त्याच्यामुळे प्रश्न नाही विचारता येणार. तुम्हाला खूप खूप शुभेच्छा. I hope some brilliant engineers will come out of your institutions, and all the best to you. आणि thank you अमरावती विद्यापीठाला ही संधी दिल्याबद्दल.
Thank you, Dr. Atale sir. Thank you, because your session was very data driven and from local to global perspective.
Yes.
and we are really thankful to you, sir, because the vision, the person like you having such kind of global vision, and you have from your global vision and the data driven session has enmarked this research and development with a very simple example. So we are luckily thankful to you, sir. You have elaborated our concept towards this research and development. I once again extend my sincere thanks, but due to some time overlapping, we
No
can't
problem.
get the question
Yes, I
answers.
understand. Yes, yes.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
With
Thank
the
you.
kind consent of Dr. Atale, sir, I would like to declare that this session will be over here and we will move for the next session. We'll take the consent from the next resource person, Professor Rafi, sir. Hello, Dr. Rafi, sir, shall we start, if you could permit?
Yes, sir, yes.
So friends, good afternoon once again. As I have already told you that the today's both topic are interconnected to each other. Because the research and development and the higher education, the role of this higher education in the upliftment and the socioeconomic development of our society is both are the interconnect, because if the institute are not participating in the societal development and the community engagement, we cannot frame our syllabi or the curricula. Therefore, this role, and particularly the research from the higher education institute, play a very crucial role in the entire development of our country, as well as the contribution for our country. So we will start with the very next session with the help of Dr. Mohammad Abdul Rafi, sir. Sir, first of all, I extend my warm welcome to you to this flagship program and particular to this session. Friends, Professor Rafi sir is at present serving as the Assistant Director at the Malvi Mission Teacher Training Center at Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, situated in the Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar in the heart of Maharashtra. Most of you known Professor Rafi sir is very well, because as he has coordinated the n number of training program for the faculty members, and couple of faculty members, I think you have attended the program at the MMTTP BAMU, and that time you know Professor Rafi sir. But today is my humble duty to introduce sir in the brief. Friends,
Ankit ji,
yes sir.
कोई इशू नहीं. I'm already time बहुत
Sir,
हो
please,
गया.
only 1 minute, sir. Only
Okay. Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah, so friends, Professor Rafi sir is having more than 2 decades of experience in this field of higher education. The man who have it is us, it basically belongs to the Faculty of Commerce and Management, and he's imparting the teaching he's imparting the teaching as well as the research and particularly the training for the higher education faculty member across the country. He is closely associated with the research, and he is reviewing and the editor's journal of different important research journal, and he was the managing editor of this Excel Journal of Excellence. Under his able guidance, 5 scholars have been completed their PhD degree. He was the reviewer and the panel. He was the panel member as well as the member for the most of the BOS in the commerce and management, associated with the not only with the Dr. Baseb Ambedkar Marathwada University, but also the different colleges and the autonomous institutions. So without taking too much time, sir will enlighten us on the very important concept, what are the ecosystem of higher education system, and what is the role of this higher education system in the society. So sir, I once again extend my warm welcome to you and request you to please start with your session. Sir, please.
Thank you, Mr. Ankit, for honoring me with inviting this lecture. So just I will take a minute of yours to have my PPT on. I would request all the participants to open their camera, please. सभी participant कैमरा ओपन करें, सहभागी जो हमारे मित्र है, जो इस NEP ओरिएंटेशन में हमारे पास में ज्वाइन है. Thank you. So, Ankit ji, you are there? I will take a minute of yours. Is my screen visible to all of you? Can any one of the participant can unmute and tell me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes,
my
sir.
screen is very much visible to all of you. So
Yes.
first of all, I would like on behalf of this Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Sant Gadge Baba, Amravati University, I would like to welcome all the participants to this NEP orientation and sensitization course being run by under the able guidance of the director, Professor Atiq Ahmed sir, and also Mr. Ankit ji for taking their efforts. And many NEP have been conducted by this Gadge Baba Amravati University, MMTTP, and also a day before yesterday itself, at same time at 4:15, we were having a meeting of UGC, and even the University Grants Commission, Indian Institute of Personal Administration, people have appreciated the work of this MMTTP center. So I would like to again congratulate the team of Professor Atiq sir for taking the efforts and taking this HRDC MMTTC to high. The topic allotted to me is NEP 2020 and higher education. So what basically higher education is, uh, why this NEP 2020 has been there now since the year 2020, we are having NEP 2020, and you see that 5 years have passed since NEP 2020 have been implemented at UG level, at PG level also. And you see that now all of us, we are well acquainted with this NEP training programs, NEP especially. And the core components of NEP, which includes the higher education, especially जिसके ऊपर आज हमारा lecture है. Again, the Indian knowledge system is there, one of the core component. Then again, skill development is one of the core component. Again, ICT is there, one of the core component. Student diversity, inclusion, holistic development, research methodology. All these are the core components of NEP 2020. But why NEP 2020 was there? Why NEP has been implemented in our country? Can anyone tell me the reason? What is the need of NEP 2020? Anyone from the participant can tell me why NEP has been implemented here? Okay, just if there are no suggestions or queries or from your side, I would like to tell you that NEP 2020 have been implemented because you see that to achieve Viksit Bharat 2047, to become a 5 trillion economy, already we are a 5 trillion economy, to be a developed nation, we need to change the higher education system of our country. You see that our higher education system, India's higher education system, is the third largest higher education system in the entire globe. ये सबसे बड़ा हायर एजुकेशन है जिसके ऊपर सिर्फ चाइना है और यूएसए. इन आवर कंट्री we are having several universities, colleges, students, and teachers. So, making an overhaul change in the higher education system was the order of the day. And you see that that's why this NEP 2020 has been implemented by the government in the year July 2020.
TTGला 3 वर्ष, MS ला 2 वर्ष. हो का कोणतं? हो का बियान सरच्या गावचं आहे का? हा प्रिन्सिपल होते डिप्लोमाचे होते.
तेजस जी, आपका माइक म्यूट करिए. तेजस शर्मा. So, a famous quote by Swami Vivekananda before starting off my lecture, I would like to show in front of you that education should be holistic, man-making, life-giving, and character-building. Education can unlock all the doors for a progress. A nation advances in the proportion to education and intelligence to spread among the masses. This has been quoted by the Swami Vivekananda. You see that the timeline evaluation of the Indian higher education system, it can be broadly divided into 4 parts. First is the post-independence foundation phase. You see that the post-independence foundation phase, which have been started after the post-independence in the year 1948-49, in which we have the Radha Krishna Commission, which was formed in the higher education system, Radha Commission. And after that, in the year 1956, we had the University Grants Commission. In the year 1964, Kothari Commission was there. And in the year 1968, National Education Policy, first National Education Policy was implemented by the government of India. So you can see that this is called as the post-independence foundation phase, and it was the base and foundation through which our higher education system stands today. Because the base and the foundation of the higher education was too much strong. In that, we had University Grants Commission established with a special act of parliament in the year 1956. Again, we had a Kothari Commission. Then National Commission on National Policy on Education was also there. So you can see that Kothari Commission was formed in the year 1956. 1966, 1964 to 66. So it was the thing where 10 plus 2 plus 3 structure and 3 language formula emphasizes the use of mother tongue for instruction and making vocational education and teacher training a priority. So we can say that the key recommendation of this Kothari Commission was proposed 10 plus 2 plus 3 pattern of education, 10 years of school, 2 years of higher education, higher secondary, and 3 years of university. Then languages. Advocate for three-language formula to promote national integration and the use of mother tongue as a medium of instruction at all school levels. Curriculum and pedagogy. Recommended developing a national policy for education, stressed the importance of science education from primary level and learning by doing. Suggested making work experience as an essential part of education. And also recommended comprehensive teacher training program to improve the quality of instruction. They emphasized vocational and skill training to improve student employability and recommended increasing the promotion of GDP allocated to education to 6% by the year 1985-86. So the second phase of the higher education evolution in India was called as economic liberalization and expansion phase. You see that again, these second phase, which is also called as economic liberalization and expansion phase, is divided into three parts. That is, in the year 1986, National Policy on Education was formed, the second policy, after the gap of more than 24 years, 28 years. Also, we had in the year 1992 Program of Action Committee, and in the year 2002 we had National Knowledge Commission. National Knowledge Commission 2005. You see that the National Knowledge Commission was an Indian government advisory body established in the year 2005 and chaired by Sam Pitrodia to guide reforms in education sector, science and technology and e-governance. Its mandate was to help India to develop a knowledge-based society by improving the access to knowledge, fostering knowledge creation and promoting its application in areas like agriculture, industry and government services. The commission was formally abolished in the year 2014, but its recommendation has included subsequent policy. The key functions and objective of that knowledge commission was educational reforms, that is to build an educational system for 21st century, including making recommendation on norms and standard for schools and improving higher education. Then knowledge creation, to encourage the creation of new knowledge in science and technology and manage intellectual property rights. Then knowledge application, to promote the use of knowledge in industry and agriculture to improve productivity and competitiveness. E-governance, to promote the use of knowledge in industry and agriculture to improve productivity and competitiveness. And e-governance, to use knowledge to make government services more effective, transparent, and accountable. Policy advice, to advise the Prime Minister on policy related to education, research, and intellectual property. The key recommendation of this Knowledge Commission includes National Science and Social Science Foundation. The Commission proposed the creation of National Science and Social Science Foundation to promote research work that could lead to Nobel Prize worthy discovery. E-governance. The National Knowledge Commission suggested that the government should upgrade its use of technology to make it working more transparent. Then libraries. It recommended recommendation for public libraries to expand their services, including providing internet access, document delivery, and digitalization of resources. Vocational education. You see that National Knowledge Commission made recommendation to increase the flexibility of vocational education and training within the mainstream of education system. Again, we had committee, the third phase of this evaluation of Indian higher education was globalization and reform phase. You see that in that globalization and reform phase, in the year 2009, we have a committee on higher education. Committee on higher education. 2009. You see that it is also known as Yashpal Committee, formerly known as Committee to Advise on the Rejuvenation of Higher Education, chaired by Professor Yashpal. This committee was formed by India's Ministry of HRD to review the functioning of UGC, AICT and recommended reforms of higher education. It included creating single regulator body, increasing institutional autonomy and merging research and teaching more effectively. Just I will have a water. Then in the year 2013, we had Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan, which is called now as PM Usha. So again, this Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan has helped a lot in bridging the gap between the central funding and the state funded higher education institution. And this was only the two things which were in the globalization and reform phase. And the last phase, current phase, it cannot be told as a last phase, but the current phase, the fourth phase, it is known as contemporary transformation phase, in which we have the NEP 2020, and all of us, we are aware. You see, friends, that this is the higher education system in our country, where you have number of universities. There are 1100 universities, 45,000 colleges, 12,000 standalone institution, 4.3 crore students and 16 lakh teachers nearly. But still, there is a imbalance in the outflow and inflow of the students. You see that pre-COVID data, we will take an example for this. We are having 3,75,000 students, which is the 6.7 of the total mobile student across the globe. And US has the highest share of this number, that is 36.25, followed by Australia 19.5, Canada 9.2, UK 5.2, and as the most preferred destinations in the higher education. But still, you see, friends, that when it comes to the student coming to country like India, only underdeveloped country students are coming, like the students from Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, then Middle East country students from Yemen, Sudan, they are coming. I'm not against that these students shouldn't come to our country for taking the higher education, but you see that there should be a proper balance of the student coming across the globe. You see that NEP 2020, and especially the premier institution in our country like IITs and IIMs, they have student exchange program, they have faculty exchange program, which is lagging in the our what you will say, the uh, institutions other than the premier institutions. So these things should work very properly, and these institutions should see that how the foreign enrollment of the student can be increased in our country. As I have told you, friends, that there are more private universities now as compared to the public universities. Also, we will see the figure in the coming slides as well. And you see that there are 17 universities which are exclusively for women. And you see that 3 are in Rajasthan, 2 in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, 1 each in Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Delhi, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Uttarakhand, and West Bengal. In addition to one central open university, 14 state open university, one state private open university, there are 110 dual mode university which offer education through distance mode also, and the maximum 13 of them are located in Tamil Nadu. There are 522 general, 177 technical, 63 agriculture allied, 67 medical, 23 law, and 12 Sanskrit and 11 language universities, and rest of 145 universities are of other categories. The top 8 states in terms of highest number of colleges in India are UP, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, and Gujarat. You see that Bangalore urban tops in terms of number of colleges. There are more colleges in Bangalore than any other district in our country, which is around 1000. I'm talking about the Bangalore city itself. It has more colleges. Around urban district, it is around 1000, followed by Jaipur, which is only 600. There is a gap of 400 colleges. And you see that college density, that is the number of colleges per lakh eligible population in the age group of 18 to 23 varies from 7 in Bihar to 59 in Karnataka as compared to all India average of 30. 60% of colleges are located in rural areas. 10% colleges are exclusively for female. Only 2.7 colleges run in PhD program and 35.4 colleges run on postgraduate level program. There are 32.6% colleges which run only on single program, out of which 84.1% are privately managed. Among these privately managed college students, 37.4% colleges run B.Ed courses only. Gross enrollment is also very good. It is around 28%, and the gross enrollment till the year 2035 will reach till 50%. About 80% of the students are enrolled at UG program, and 2 lakh students are enrolled in PhD. Maximum enrollment is in arts, followed by science and commerce. In PhD, the maximum enrollment is for engineering technology stream, followed by science. In UP, there are highest number of students, followed by Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. In scheduled caste, students constitute to 14%, scheduled tribe 5.6% of the total enrollment, and 37% of the students belong to the OBC category. And you see that Muslim minority students, other minority students are 2.3. Foreign students coming to India across the globe, as I have already told you, is from Nepal, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, and Sudan. And there are more private colleges. In that also, private unaided colleges are more in our country. And you see that around 16 lakh teachers, and the ratio of male-female student is also very good. It is 57% male teachers to 43% female teachers. Highest degree has been awarded in BA, followed by BSc and BCom. At postgraduate level, MA students are more, followed by MSc and MBA students. Then state university have more enrollment of PhD student as compared to the central universities. Friends, I would like to have attention of all of you here on this slide. Through this slide, you can see that how the higher education has jumped in our country in the past 2 decades. A country after post-independence, we had only 30 universities, which have increased to 55, and the year 2000 it was increased to only 250 universities in the entire country, which has jumped around in these 20 years. It has jumped around to 1168 universities, 1168. The number has jumped from 256 to 1168, which is a very huge number in our country in the past 15-20 years. Same is with the colleges, where you see, friends, that in the colleges we are having only 578 colleges, which have jumped to around 10,000 colleges till the year 2000. And in the year 2021-22, in the past 20 years, we have increased from 10,000 to 45,000 colleges. You see that private unaided colleges constitute to 65, which I think that these are the figures of 2 to 3 years back. Now these figure will be around 70%. 70% of the colleges are private unaided colleges, followed by 13% aided colleges and 21% government colleges. And I think that in Maharashtra only this concept of aided colleges there, private aided colleges. In other states, what I have observed and seen, that there are government colleges and private colleges. In the year 1950, we had 4.4% of gross enrollment, which has increased to 20% in the year 2011 and 12, and which have increased to only 28%. So this is a thing where we need to work to increase the gross enrollment ratio of our country. And it is projected and it is accepted that in the year 2035, the gross enrollment ratio of our country will reach till 50%. Again, the jump of the students in past 10 years. Again, friends, I would like to have your attention on this very important slide, which is useful and which is an eye opener for the people, those who are working in the aided universities and colleges. You should see that the jump of the state private university. In the year 2011, the enrollment was 2.7 lakhs in the entire country, which have jumped to 16 lakhs in the year 2021. So in the past 10 years, there is an increase of 500% increase in the enrollment of state private universities. Again, there is an increase in state public university, but which is very less. It is only 12.21.8. And in the central university, there is an increase of 26.4. So what are the drawbacks of our higher education? You see that discipline, separation of discipline, then limited access in socio-economical disadvantage area, limited teacher and institutional autonomy, inadequate mechanism for merit-based career management and progression of faculty and institutional leadership, lesser emphasis on research at university, and most universities and colleges lack competitive peer-reviewed research funding across the discipline, and suboptimal governance and leadership of higher education institution, an ineffective regulatory system, and large affiliating university resulting in low standard of undergraduate education. So what challenges to the current system is there? Moving towards multidisciplinary education program, moving towards faculty and institutional autonomy, Then revamping curriculum. It is very important that curriculum is not updated in the higher education. Then assessment, student support for enhanced student experience. Then reforming the integrity of faculty and institutional leadership positioning through merit appointment and career progression based on teaching, research, and services. Establishment of National Research Foundation to fund outstanding peer-reviewed research and actively seed research in universities and colleges. Governance of higher education by a high qualified independent board having academic and administrative autonomy. Light but tight regulation by the single regulator of higher education. Again, one of the important slide which I would like to highlight in front of all of you, friend, is the budget of our country uh, uh, for the higher education. You see that Harvard University budget. Uh, Harvard University budget, we had uh, a budget of 30,000 crore rupees इन द ईयर 2013. एक एग्जाम्पल ले रहे हैं हम यहाँ पर, जो हायर एजुकेशन का जो हमारा बजट है वो कैसे कम है। आप देखिए कि जो हार्वर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी का जो बजट है 2013 में, इन द ईयर 2013, इट वाज 30,000 करोड़ रुपीस, एंड यू सी दैट the budget of our entire country of the higher education in the year 2018 was 26,000 crore rupees, which is less for 4,000 crore as compared to one single university budget of a foreign university. So it is really a concern that should be addressed in our higher education system. Affiliating system. Again, it is a gift given to the colonized country like ours to the British from the Britishers, like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. These countries have the affiliating system. No other countries have affiliating system. Already you know that there is a multiple exit and entry program. The current GDP needs to be increased to 6% in the higher education. Academic bank of credit must be there. This will be very useful to, especially to the, what you will say, it will be very useful for the female student, those who migrate or change their place. It is very useful for them. Academic bank of credit. Then what are the advantages of new education policy at school education level? I would like to highlight few points. You see that government aims to make schooling available to everyone with the help of NEP 2020. Approximately 2 crore school students will be able to come back to educational institution through this new approach. Then for children up to the age of 9, a national circular and pedagogical framework for earlier childhood care and education will be designed and developed by NCRT. And one of the merit of NEP 2020 is the formation of National Book Promotion Policy in India. The new plans also focuses on gender inclusion fund, special education zone for disadvantaged regions and groups is also focused in the list. Special daytime boarding schools, Bawal Bhavan, to be established in the every state district in India. The boarding schools will be used for participants. Hello.
सर हे चुकून हे झालं होतं काही इश्यू झाला मी पुन्हा जॉईन केला तर होस्टला मला अनम्यूट करायचं
ओके, मी पण एक लेक्चर मध्ये आहे, मी 1-2 मिनिट सांगतो त्यांना. पूरेकर सर को को-होस्ट बना फिर, और उनको बोल भी Again, gender inclusion funds, special education zone, Bal Bhavans will be there. Then academic bank of credit तो मैंने आपको already बताया हूँ. Multidisciplinary education, research university at par with IITs and IIM will be set up in the country, and these are scheduled to be set up for introducing multidisciplinary academics. Then the same list of accreditation and regulation rules will be used for guiding both public and private academic bodies. Phasing out affiliation system and autonomy will be granted to the colleges. 4-year B.Ed degree program. For making the student prepared for future pandemic situation, online academic will be promoted on the larger scales. But there are some drawbacks of this NEP 2020 again, which I would like to highlight in front of you, is that in the NEP 2020, language is negative factor as there is a problematic teacher to student ratio in India, thus introducing mother languages for each subject in academic institution is a problem. Then sometimes finding a competent teacher becomes a problem. And now other challenge comes with introduction of NEP 2020, that is bringing study material in mother languages. Again, one of the drawback will be that the student of private schools will be introduced English as much earlier as the government schools, and the academic syllabus will be taught in respective languages of government school students. And this is one of the major new education policy drawback. At this will increase the number of students uncomfortable in communicating in English, thus widening the gap between the section of the society. Again, NEP 2020 stress मोर ऑन इंटरनेशनलाइजेशन फ्रेंड्स. जैसा आप देखिए कि जो एनी हमारे आज के जो इंस्टीट्यूशन है जिसमें आईआईटीज और आईआईएम्स को हम छोड़ देते हैं, तो बाकी जो हमारे इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं दे आर शाइंग फॉर internationalization of the higher education. Internationalization doesn't mean that just having one or two foreign student in your institution. Internationalization means matching the international standard as compared to the curriculum, as compared to the evaluation, faculty exchange, student exchange, research project exchange, funding the scholarship to the foreign students. All these are the part of the internationalization of higher education, which should be the need of the hour of this current higher education system. Then again, our policies like not policy, but what actually the strength of our country, like yoga, philosophy, Ayurveda, Sanskrit, Vastu Shastra, then Indian languages, art, history, should be promoted at the global level. Short-term courses should be offered in these strength of our country. And also we should see that quality residential facility to the students from abroad should be given. Effective living conditions and learning environment to the international students should be given on campus to the students from abroad to provide continuous and inclusive support to the international student, designed to facilitate student social and academic success and focusing particularly on transition process. Then integrating incoming international students with local community, including assigning faculty mentors, host family and students buddy, friendly environment for incoming students to have safe, positive and holistic experience, offering local language courses and other bridge courses as needed, fostering connection among domestic and international student, and value the input of international student on campus. Then short-term courses, as I have already told, that yoga, philosophy, Ayurveda should be promoted at greater scale. Then also global citizen approach. ये तो हुई बात फॉरेन स्टूडेंट्स की, बट दो स्टूडेंट्स दोज हु आर ऑलरेडी इनरोल्ड विथ अस, दो स्टूडेंट इंडियन स्टूडेंट, local student which have been enrolled in our current courses, we should make them a global citizen. Their approach should be global level, because these students will serve the entire globe, not only Bharat but the entire globe. So we should inculcate in the skills, like in the students, like critical thinking, communication, technology skill, cross culture awareness and adaptability should be there. Then again, the most important part of NEP 2020 is the IKS. IKS, again, it is very important, friends, where you see that Indian society is a treasure of trove of knowledge gained over thousands of years and manifested in the form of art, literature, tradition, custom, language, architecture, ancient practices developed by Indians over the century were passed from one generation to another. However, this process of intergenerational transfer of information ended arbitrarily in the last century. The national education policy lays special emphasis on promoting of Indian language, art, culture, and tries to remove the discontinuity in flow of Indian knowledge system by integrating IKS into curriculum at all level of education. The success of NEP 2020 and its special component on IKS stream rise heavily on shoulder of faculty of higher education institution. Despite of being expert in the respective field, majority of faculty in UGC recognized institution are not much familiar of IKS. So how you can design your own IKS courses? These are the examples, like the iron and steel technology in India, textile and Indian specialities, ceramic technology, stone, shell, glass technology, mode of transport, boat, shipping, waste management, Harappan and traditional water system. Then when the mathematics contained in Shulp Subhastra, weaving mathematics into beautiful poetry. Then Nast Shastra, Gyan, vernacular architecture, forest management, urban planning, agroforestry, tanks, lakes, step wells. Then we have IKS based chemistry. Then we have Indian economics and business model, in which you can have a syllabus on Indian history of Indian economy through context of Dharma Shastra, Shukranti, Mahabharata and Arthashastra, Coyote's economic thought in specific India and global GDP, ancient India beyond capitalism and communalism, dharmic and caste and social capital, black money and tax haven, ancient India manufacturing, ancient India education in India, wealth in India, governance, business in India, where India stands globally. Then Indian business model based on 10-point formula, family base, high level of saving, self-employment, highly entrepreneurial nature, non-corporate sector as a core of economy, community orientation and higher societal capital, faith, relationship and economic affair, a society-driven economy driven by norms and values. Then also the art and architecture, sacred ecology, modern communication to Indian architecture, Harappan town planning, then mathematics, Indian astronomy, these can be given. Also, you see that ICT based internationalization of higher education can be done through online courses, uh, MOOC courses. Academic and research collaboration can also be increased in the higher education of our country, where broad brand building abroad can also be done. Also, Alumni Connect can also be there. Office of International Affairs can be there in our institution. Then what are the role of higher education? The higher education needs to encourage to formulate strategy and undertake initiative for collaborating with higher education institution abroad and enhance international profile of the institution. And this will in turn boost the social power of the nation. And you see that higher education institutions are encouraged to involve stakeholders like regulatory bodies, international organization, alumni association, and industry in designing of internationalization of strategies. Formulating a strategic approach, spelling out the institution's objective and articulating their approach, considering the cultural context at both home and abroad, the higher education institutions are encouraged to scrutinize nation's priority in their approach, optimizing, implementing through establishing of Office of International Affairs and communicating effectively with the stakeholders. Then impact of assessment of institution is also there. Then active participation of higher education institution with the stakeholders. framing intercultural international curriculum, providing international exposure to the students through mobility, extending international competencies in our student, faculty, and staff, promoting institutional strength through collaboration, developing international institution branding. Then monitoring and assessment can also be done. Also, what are the challenges, current challenges for internationalization? You see that countries like USA and UK are far ahead of India in education infrastructure. The basis of internationalization education is economic and political imperials. A foreigner who study in India experience immense difficulty in getting employment here due to this situation. Foreigners are less attracted. Universities of India are still teaching decade-old curriculum. Along with this, lack of autonomy in university, lack of government funds prevent international students from being attracted to India. Then we have steps to attract the international students. You see, General Cultural Scholarship Scheme implemented by ICSSR is for students from Latin America, African and Asian countries. Then Global Initiative for Academic Network increase the engagement between scientists, entrepreneurship and students from all over the world. Connect to India is an initiative of Ministry of Education under which foreign students are encouraged. And Study in India, this is also an initiative of Ministry of Education. It aims to attract students from 34 countries of Africa, West Asia, and South Asia. And C.V. Raman Fellowship to promote scientific education between India and Africa, besides several bilateral agreements such as UK and Asian have been signed with promoting the internationalization of the education. So to conclude my session, focusing on three language and school education, encouraging the use of vernacular languages, promoting the study of Indian classical languages, strengthening teachers' education, increasing the use of technology in education, then improving assessment and evaluation procedures, making school education free and compulsory for all children using age of 6 to 14, then introducing of new grading system that doesn't use marks and percentage, implementing a standardized curriculum across all schools in India and improving 10 plus 2 program and implementing 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 education system and establishing a new educational National Education Commission to see of the implementation of NEP. So friends, this is to conclude my session, and this session is now open for question and answers. So if there are any queries, you can tell me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, one question is received through YouTube. Can we take it, if you could permit?
Yeah, definitely.
Sir, one question is particularly with regards to this multidisciplinary institutions and the school complex at the school level and this yes, multidisciplinary institute like as the Meru at the higher education institute.
Yeah.
The government has desired to combine these institutions in these norms. But our existing affiliating system are very strong, and while we are going to these schools complexes or this Meru type universities or the institutions, the degree granting college, whether how much it is feasible and whether it is impact on the student inclusivity in the higher education. This is the question, sir. What is your opinion with regards to that?
Regarding multidisciplinary education.
Multidisciplinary institutions, sir. Multidisciplinary institutions, because the participant has says our existing system, that is the affiliating university system, is very strong right now, and whatever may be our acts and other that is law making process are according to that. But we are going for the transit period, that is we are going to make this multidisciplinary institutions like as the Meru and the degree granting college, research university, and as well as at the school level we are going to connect the school complexes. So how it is feasible in our future future education in the school education as well as the higher education, because in India's like diverse country, how it is sustainable?
Yes, you see that when we talk about these multidisciplinary institutions, and how these will be feasible. So these are two different things. And affiliation system you are telling. You see that first of all, the affiliating system will be completely phased out. No affiliated colleges will remain in the coming 10 years. Only autonomous colleges and universities will be there. So your affiliation will be completely abolished, and only the institution which having a good brand image will survive and sustain in the coming days. The brand image, how the brand image can be developed, you see that by providing good curriculum, by providing good infrastructure, by providing good quality teaching, your brand will improve. So this is one of the part of your answer of my your question, that how these affiliating system will there be no strong affiliation. Currently the affiliation system is very strong, so it will be completely phased out in the coming years. And coming back to the multidisciplinary education, Meru, now you see that it has been mentioned on paper that each and every district will have one multidisciplinary university. So how it will be feasible? You see that in the current system, it is very rigid, where a person who has undertaken a finance, take my example only, इसमें सबसे best example मैं खुद का ही दूंगा, that in this thing where I have taken a financial management after passing my SSC examination. So till my PhD and even today in my postdoctoral research also, I am doing finance as a research. I'm not connected to any marketing subject even within the commerce or any HR subject also. So interdisciplinary is also not very much feasible in today's era. So multidisciplinary तो बहुत दूर हो जाता है. But that should be an order of the day. More research should be conducted at multidisciplinary level. You see that in the foreign countries, vocational education, multidisciplinary education is providing more employment. You take the example of European countries. In European countries, they have stressed more on vocational education, and just because of vocational education, 35% of population, I'm talking about population, total population, 35% of population is getting more employment. So that is one of the basic objective of this NEP 2020, to promote skill development and multidisciplinary education, so that more employment can be generated, more social science research based on the society will be improved through this multidisciplinary education. So these are the earlier stages, but we can see, or we can say that in the coming years, our people will adopt this multidisciplinary education, and then that will become an order of the day. Thank you. Any more queries?
Yes, participants, any more questions? Hope the participants who have joined through YouTube has get their answers or get resolved their queries. Because yes, we are in the transit phase, and difficulties are there to shift from one era to another era. But definitely we have to find out some solution, and that solution should be sustainable, that a sustainable and inclusive solution. So whatever may be the policymakers that thinking beyond the boundaries, we should inculcate that boundaries and solution in our higher education as well as the school system. Sir, I think there are no more queries. So if you could permit, can we conclude, sir?
Yes, Ankit.
So on behalf of Malvi Mission Teacher Training Center, Sant Gadge Baba, Amravati University, and Anuradha College of Engineering and Technology, Chikhli, I extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Rafi sir, because friends, we are continuously going under the evaluation system for the third party, and Professor Rafi sir is continuously engaging on his center also. So in spite of his busy schedule, he has provided his precious time and ideas towards this higher education ecosystem that will be expanding and shifting from the one era to another era. And definitely, sir, your inputs and solution that will be very useful in our upcoming days from shifting this engineering institution in the autonomous institution.
Yes,
So
yes.
I'm really thankful to you, sir. I once again extend my sincere thanks to you for your thought-provoking session and precious time. And with the kind consent of Professor Rafi, sir, I would like to declare that this session will be over here.
Yes,
Thank you, sir.
अंकित
Thank
जी,
you.
एक बात बताना चाहूंगा, कल आपके सेंटर को काफी अप्रिशिएट किया है आईआईपीए वालों ने।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू। हम लोग
और वो एक ही जो आपके डायरेक्टर सर है, उन्होंने पीपीटी मंगाया और बहुत अप्रिशिएट किया आपका वर्क। और मुझे पता है कि आपकी काफी मेहनत है इसके पीछे, तो आपके लिए बहुत बहुत मुबारक और कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस आपको।
बहुत बहुत
आपको
धन्यवाद सर,
सेंटर को
आपका
बहुत
बहुत बहुत
अप्रिशिएट हो।
धन्यवाद। वी बीइंग द एमएमटीटीसी कम्युनिटी, हम सभी लोग बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं और डेफिनेटली इसके आने वाले जो
जी जी
आउटकम्स है वो कुछ दिनों में डेफिनेटली दिखेंगे सर। आज उसके इम्पैक्ट भले ही ना दिखते हो,
जी
लेकिन आने वाले अपकमिंग ईयर्स में 1 साल 2 साल 3 साल
जी
इसका
जी।
एक इम्पैक्ट जरूर दिखेगा सर।
जी,
सो
मैंने तो सर को तो कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट किया ही था, लेकिन मैं चाह रहा था कि आपको, अंकित जी को, मैं पूरे पार्टिसिपेंट के साथ सामने कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट करूं। आपकी भी
थैंक यू
काफी
सर, थैंक
मेहनत
यू
रहती
सो
है।
मच। और आप सभी का गाइडेंस हमें अच्छा हमेशा मिलता रही, ये
जी
आपसे
बिल्कुल
अपेक्षा है
बिल्कुल।
सर।
बिल्कुल अंकित, थैंक
चलिए, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू so much. With the kind consent of Professor Rafi sir, I would like to declare that this session will be over here and participant we will stop and meet tomorrow again. Thank you sir, thank you everyone.